All right, folks, we are here and we are live despite the fact that we got, how do I put it? We got sideswiped, sucker punched. That's the best way for me to describe it. So apparently there was a rainout game with the Red Sox. They had to do a makeup game today, and that makeup game has to be broadcast contractually with WTIC. So we sort of were all caught off guard. You know, we contacted everybody. I mean, John Silva in the newsroom, he literally was listening up in the monitor and heard the Red Sox going, hey, what's going on? We didn't know. Nobody knew. So we apologized for that. And it turns out that it's a doubleheader today. Who would have figured? It's a doubleheader. Sorry, Kelly. Also, bad news, Roseanne will not be here today. She's taking a day off. She's got some things she wants to take care of at home that she didn't get to. Plus, I think she's hanging out with her girlfriend, and, you know, they're doing some things. But, okay, I promise you. And, Kelly, I'm here. What about me? And you may have noticed in my voice, I'm recovering from, I guess, a weird cold. I only get these conditions during the summertime. Weirdly enough, I only get sick in the summer when it is warm and seasonably warm. Not like unseasonably warm. I'm like seasonally warm. I get this weird throat thing. It's like I'm allergic to the summer. It's ridiculous and I hate it. So you can hear that in my voice and I apologize. Of course, I'm going to be here no matter what. So I'm doing my best to try to get through. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping. So I presume that the Red Sox game is going to be over roughly about 4:30 today. It started sometime around 1:38. We're assuming, hopefully, that it will be over roughly about 4:30, 5 o'clock. We'll have Michael Grosso here from the 71st District then, and I think we'll be on regular radio. And then at 6:09, we return to the second part of the doubleheader with the Red Sox. I do not believe they're going to do a whole hour or so broadcasting outside outside the actual baseball game. So we'll return to regular broadcasting in and around 4:30, maybe even 5 o'clock. We'll have that hour. Because I would hate for Michael Grosso to come here and be online and not have the full audience impact of his interview. So we'll do what we can. What the heck is going on here? So like I said, we'll do whatever we can to make sure that happens, and we'll inform you. Just be on the lookout. We'll also check the Red Sox scores for you as well. In another bit of housekeeping, on Tuesday, we're going to have Samantha back on the show. You might be familiar or may remember, Samantha was a parent that we had interviewed some year or so ago about the Solomon Schechter School that involved her daughter and another parent that involved her daughter. That a teacher at that school was, I'm going to use the term tickling, their children. And the story didn't have a lot of legs, but we gave it legs. And finally, the news media, jumped on board and started covering it. I do understand that NBC Connecticut is doing an extensive interview with Samantha that's already been put together and will be airing sometime soon. Well, Samantha's going to be here on Tuesday. And she will sit right across from me again. And you remember how fired up she was about her child and, most importantly, anti-grooming laws that she wants to implement in Congress, in the legislature here in the state. Well, we have some news on that front. And Samantha and I are going to share it. And I want to thank a whistleblower, a school teacher, who called me yesterday and hit me to something that many of us did not know and ignored. Those of us who did. And apparently it took place in 2015 right here in the great state of Connecticut. We will reveal what that is and what the state of Connecticut has done with a law that it passed unanimously. And folks, when I say unanimously, not one single member of the House or the Senate in the state voted against this bill. It passed overwhelmingly. And the deputy president pro tempore is responsible for getting this bill passed. But upon searching this bill, we found two things very alarming. One, the bill has no teeth. Two, private schools were, let's just say, private schools were not implemented in said law. They are not forced to follow this law. It didn't matter anyway because the law has no teeth. No one is enforcing it. We'll get to the bottom of it. You are going to be stunned when you hear about it. You go, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So stay tuned for that Tuesday. It is something I'm incredibly outraged about. Rich, nothing happened to the scallywag. I'll mention you, I promise. And by the way, thank you all, scallywags. I love you, brothers. I love brothers and sisters, scallywags. And of course, that's, Rich, Joey V, Michael A, Michael B, Kelly, TJ, Dana, Scott, music design, Lori L, research department, all of you. Now, yesterday, we were having a conversation with Jendaya. And she was talking about the scandal that involves her and many others as it pertains to Doug McCrory, Senator Doug McCrory. And when we got off the air, just for a brief time out to go to commercials and all the good stuff that we do here, she mentioned something to me that I have been all about since I joined WTIC. And even beyond that, I've kind of been someone talking about it. I think even in my Boston days, I talked a little bit about it. That I am not comfortable with marijuana businesses. And I am definitely at odds with governments pushing marijuana businesses in an equity capacity. It was reported in the Hartford Courant that Connecticut was helping African Americans get their licenses to open up a marijuana dispensary here in the state. And they were a priority because of the war on drugs. Now, let me make this abundantly clear to those in the African American community who may be wondering what my position is on that. You sell it, you do the time, okay? You're poisoning your community. Something's got to be done. And by the way, don't take my word for it. Take it from during the so-called war on drugs from the multitude of African American leaders and politicians who were forcing the federal government to do something about the blight of drugs in their community. No, it was not white people who finally realized, well, the drugs are coming into our neighborhood. We got to stop this. No, it was black politicians, and I know all of them. Some of them I've broken bread with, who did everything in their power to ask white legislators, come down here and help us, sir. And they did. And they locked your ass up for a long time at the behest. You understand that word there, Luke? At the behest of those politicians. Help us get these drugs off the street. We got to put them away forever. And sure enough, the white man did. You didn't know that, though, did you? That's okay. I got you. Now, when they turned around and started saying, oh, we need to make up for incarcerating these people, now let's make them legal drug dealers. I told you right off the bat, I'm against it. And not because I'm a recovering alcoholic, not because I've been sober for 7 years, not because I've never taken any fancy to marijuana. I think marijuana is, a kind of a silly drug. I think it's an escape and a gateway drug, in my view. Not for everybody, but I think it can be. But I don't have any real connections with the drug. I don't have an issue with those who use it for medicinal purposes, glaucoma, blindness, or pain. I don't. Usually those people are not sitting in a, kids' park smoking a joint. Those people are at home dealing with pain. I don't have a problem with people who choose to smoke marijuana at home. I do have a problem with people who choose to smoke it out in the street because they can't smoke it at home because that bum probably lives with their mom or their dad or live in a place where they don't allow them to smoke weed because, again, it is not an acceptable drug to be smoking out in the open or inside your own home. Now, back to my point. In that discussion with Jedediah, what do I learn? Something that someone has been screaming. He's going to call me right now, and he's going to send me messages right now. He's going to say, I told you. I told you. No, it wasn't that I didn't believe you. It wasn't that. It's that you're hounding me about evidence she could not produce, or you would not produce. And now I have the evidence. So, what do we know? We know that they are helping African Americans get these marijuana licenses. What we did not know is that these are nothing more than Negro fronts for whites, so that certain individuals can avoid taxes, fees, or whatever, according to the information I've gathered, in just 6 hours. According to the information that there are African Americans here, I mean, goodness freaking gracious, I cannot believe this. There are black folks here in the state of Connecticut that are doing the tomcoonery of putting up fronts for the white man. I ain't never seen such step and fetch it behavior from this community. No wonder these fools ain't real civil rightsers. It's a freaking clown show in the civil rights, Black Lives Matter, pro-black and I'm proud blackosphere in Connecticut. 19th century my behind, this is 17th century. This is massacre home type nonsense. What's wrong with this black community? Holy moly. Y'all putting up fronts for the white man to open up his business. Yes'm? Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to come for me. I'm serious. Every one of you, you gonna have to come for me. You gonna have to come right outside that building and come for me. How dare you? Which one of you worthless pieces of trash tried to call me a sellout? Which one of you tried? There's a reason why you'll never come on this show. The jig is up. The jig is up for all of you. The tomcoonery ends. I'm burying everybody. I'm going to expose it, and I'm going to make sure. And again, I don't have to use the regular media out here because I don't give a damn if they won't report it. It means nothing to me. I don't need them any more than they need me. They pretend I'm not here anyway. I will go way above anything that they can report. I got plenty of reporters who report. I'll get the word out to the masses, and I will point out every one of you sons of a guns. I will point them out. I'll find every one of your dispensaries, and I'll find everyone that's got a black front sitting in front of it. Which one of these Yazza bosses is standing in front of your organization? I am going to expose. Man, I'm going to find out how much money you got paid. I'm pretty sure it was pennies. I'm sure you let that white man talk you into a couple of $100. Here you go, boy. Go buy yourself something nice. I hear Jordan's on sale. Oh, I'm burying all of you. all of you. I don't think I've ever been more outraged. I don't ever think I've been more insulted. Could it be, after all of these years, with all of this nonsense, that Reese on the radio was indeed the true black activist? Oh, my God. That's it. I am. It is confirmed today, ladies and gentlemen. Reese on the radio, the Frederick Douglass of the 21st century. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century. Hell, I'm Harriet Tubman. I am Underground Railroad and the whole 9 yards. That's right. In fact, I am Frederick Douglass Expressways on the Underground Railroad. That's where my tracks are running, right down there. Who else? Nat Turner, too? No, Matt, here's what the thing. I heard about this because Matt's in the, and thank you, Matt, I appreciate you. Matt says, you never knew about this. It wasn't so much as that. So when I was getting words about this, there was a guy who was contacting me and he was saying that there are a lot of these fronts that are going on, right? Like when I say the fronts, I mean, in a sense, like it was sort of ticky-tacky. It's like there's this going on, but it was always kind of a lot of bluster, and it had a little bit of, I couldn't get my license. It was very bitter, in bitterness involved reporting. And I don't like that kind of reporting. If you're going to be a whistleblower, don't make this about you and how you got harmed in it, right? It destroys credibility because then when I have to present it, it's always, and the person who's responsible, he was a disgruntled this, that, and the third. It takes all the weight out of it. So what I needed to know was I needed to search this information independently, which I was. And then somebody gave me the right angle. And then I was like, oh, and then in that, it sort of qualifies everything I was trying to say. Was it Adam Wood? It may have been. It may have been. I have to double check that, but I don't think that was the guy. So when I heard this, when I heard about all of this in the beginning, I already knew that there was something fishy. Connecticut wouldn't stop reporting about cannabis money here in the state because there are a lot of people here who are desirous of the cannabis industry being successful, which again boggles the mind that they would. The fact that you would want this derelict behavior of people smoking in the street or normalizing this smell in our parks because that's where they go and smoke it around our children, that you wouldn't help the community curtail that behavior baffled me. So I just want to get that out there, is that Reese on Radio, another thing that I have to come after and I have to destroy here in the state of Connecticut. And I know it's going to cost people money, which means they're going to come after me. Yeah, okay, so whatever. We do this because it must be done, not because I need it. It must be done. So, shouldn't have cheated. Shouldn't have lied. We'd have been fine. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio. So you do the bidding of the people you represent, yes?
Oh, no, I think that people who are elected to office have a responsibility to do the right thing as they see it.
Wait a minute. No. What's the word representative in front of this title for?
Luke said, I hear you, Hartford. Then he looked right past the door. You said, take a little from us. He said, I know a little more. He wore that suit like armor, smiled like he had read your mind. You asked for what you wanted. He said, baby, I'll decide. He don't need a ballad chorus. He don't need your point of view. He got a suitcase full of answers and a one-man interview. just what to do. Luke knows, put your pride aside. Luke knows, he's the one who decides. Luke knows what's good for you, what's good for you. Luke knows just what to do, just what to do. Luke knows, put your pride aside. Luke knows, he's the one who decides. Now he's talking Washington like he's already in the chair, saying I won't serve your wishes, I will go and work up there. I don't really represent what your interests say they are. That's a bold little sermon from the driver of the car. You said, Luke, that's kinda wild. He said, wild is why I'm here, like a boss in the boardroom with a smile and zero fear. You can raise your hand and holler, he'll just nod and keep it cool. He's got that private kind of wisdom that makes everybody a fool. Luke knows what's good for you, what's good for you. Luke knows just what to do, just what to do. Luke knows, put your pride aside. Luke knows, he's the one who decides. Luke knows what's good for you, what's good for you. Luke knows just what to do, just what to do. Luke knows, put your pride aside. Luke knows, he's the one who decides. Maybe he can map your future with a marker and a grin. Maybe every single answer fits the question that he's in. But if you ask for representation and he gave you attitude, that's not compromise, that's just a very fancy little move. Luke knows what's good for you. Luke knows just what to do. Luke knows, put your pride aside. Luke knows, he's the one who decides. Luke knows what's good for you. Luke knows just what to do, just what to do. Luke knows, put your pride aside. Luke knows, he's the one who decides. Yeah, Luke knows, he really, really knows. Ask Hartford, he already chose.
Yeah. Don't cancel me yet. Yeah. Give me yeah. Wake up, phone glow, scrolling like let's see. Everybody mad at somebody that's not me. New post saying breathing is offensive. I'm like, I just woke up, how am I a menace? One day, charge say, here we do the socks it. Tuesday, they need a strong man for the optics. One thread say, man, sit down, stay quiet. Next clip, where the girl is at? I can't find her. One show say my grandma's kinda backwards. Slang show, losing grandma slinging hour after. Old folks doing that they shout in the segment. In crowd with signature, we lost all our blessings. They like that's racist. Can't say that erase it. Blink twice wrong and they case it. Whole world yelling that's racist. That's racist. Sip side same phrases. New rules same places. Whatever the day is, the phrase is. Yeah, that's racist. Turn on CNN panel, look a word. Every single topic, the nation's in a hurry. Understand on my screen, righteous in a circle. Send a fair Sammons, calling more commercials. The view at 11, coffee on the table. 1 minute, man bad, next we needle stable. One day, stay home, girl, love yourself. Yeah, next day, bones up, fan Josh posting new white girls in the comments that we hate Karens. Next fits ain't cool, leading all the errands, screaming. That's harassment at the drive-thru curb. But we won this world on they phone like we're on today. So which is it today, queen or villain? You can't say queen has old school chillin'. I take back 8 and now queen is a tonkum in my brain. Doing backflips, keeping up with all of it. They like that's racist. Can't say that erased it. Change one word, still face it. Old cow shouting, that's racist. That's great. New rules, they chase it. Spin wheel, them place it. Whatever the case is, the phrase amazing. Yeah, that's racist. If I say nothing, that's racist. If I say something, that's racist. If I just listen, that's racist. If I keep living, that's racist. If I agree, that's racist. If I disagree, that's racist. If I sip tea, that's racist. If I drink green, probably lazy. They like that's racist. Can't say that erase it. Think twice, phone in their case. It go jelly. That's racist. That's racist. Dip side, same phrases. Ooh, same crazes. Whatever the day is, phrases. Yeah, that's racist. That's racist.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio right here live on WTIC, NewsTalk 1080, WTIC.com, and ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Patricia, you are not blocked from posting. I can see your comment right here. I heard you write okay, and then it says, why am I blocked from posting? I'm not sure exactly why, but you're on Facebook. It looks like you're good to go. And Matt, I will send you a text. If you click on ReeseOnTheRadio.com and go to the music section, just click on going to SoundCloud, and you can get the song and you can grab it right there. Otherwise, I'll find you the link during the break. At the top of the hour, I will take that moment and send you the link so you can get it. And thank you for liking the song. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't usually wear red. People are saying online, it's like, oh, you look good in the red today. It was a weird thing. Mark from West Hartford, I got to tell you, you brought me the Hartford Fire Department hat. I told you, but no, it was the right size. Weirdly enough, it was too big for me, and I have a big head. It said 7 3/4. I really thought it was the right size. It is not, and maybe my head shrunk or something, but it actually wasn't. So a smaller size will suffice. I tried to put it on today, and it was like hovering over my head. So anyway, we'll get that fixed anyway. Last night, the president gave a speech about election integrity. And there's much ado about his statements. And, I talked to some people here in radio world. And some of the people, I consider all of you my friends. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you to think ill of me. And you might, but I don't mean it in that way. There are some people who have my cell phone number, probably because I engage with them a lot. And there are some people who even have my cell phone number who won't use it because they're like, I don't want to bug them. But I've given it to them to say, look, if you ever do need anything, you want to talk or something like that, hey, give me a holler. And they still don't, but they do. They're very respectful of it, and that's why I know ahead of time when I give people my cell phone number. I'd give it to you all if I could. And hey, you never know. But anyway, that being said, so one of the people who I'm constantly in communication with, because I love the way his mind works, and he has sort of an insight that's similar to mine, but sometimes he goes off the deep end, and I like watching him go there. And so we'll engage in conversation, and he's very entertaining in that way. And it is none other than Simsbury Joe. Now, a lot of people have just called him Joe from Simsbury. I like calling him Simsbury Joe because it's like he represents Simsbury to me. All right, so when I think of Simsbury, when I drive through that town, he's the first person I think of. Nothing against you, Robert. He just does. So, he and I were talking last night, and I'll see if I can find this audio, because I clipped it, and no, it's not there. Hold on, excuse me.
President Trump,
there it is.
He's leading conservative journalist John Solomon. He is an advisor to President Trump. He's leading a government transparency task force for the White House. He's also the man behind a lot of the research and the reporting that the president cited as true in this speech tonight. John, you heard the president. You also heard the senator say none of it is true or not new or not significant, and others have said that as well. Your response?
Now, why is this audio important to the conversation I had with Simsbury? He and I spoke last night, and he was concerned that the president didn't go crazy. 2020 was rigged, and here's the proof of it. He didn't really go like hardcore. So I said to Joe, he will confirm it. He will absolutely back me up on this, because I don't lie. I said, I think he was close to the script for the reason that if he in any way says something that isn't in the evidence, that would be the thing that they focus on. That they would say, the president said this in his speech, and this is the reason why I told you he was lying. This is the reason why I told you we shouldn't cover it. Now, again, Simsbury, you could call up and tell me if whether or not I said it, but here's why I said it.
President cited as true in this speech tonight. John, you heard the president. You also heard the senator say none of it is true or not new or not significant, and others have said that as well. Your response?
Well, listen, I talked to the intelligence chiefs in the last few days as we got prepared for this. It's very important to understand the president said this tonight. Every intelligence chief vetted this speech. They made sure it was accurate. They told me they had never been briefed on the size of the breaches, the 230 million Americans, the 220 million Americans whose data was stolen, that they consider it a security breach. How many times on your network have you reported that 5 countries are capable of hacking our election machines? When is the last time you reported that Venezuela actually succeeded in breaching a machine which has implications for our future security? You haven't, because it was never made public. It has not been made to Congress. It's not been told to the president in the past. We checked the presidential daily briefs. A president was kept from this information. Now we have a chance to fix a glass chin of election security, make the 26th election more secure than the last 3.
Now, all of that reporting is accurate. Every piece of data I went over last night, I went through all of the zip files that were available at whitehouse.gov. I was up until midnight, making sure that I got every stitch of it. Excuse me. And everything he said was truthful. Now, back to my point with Simsbury Joe. Listen.
John, did the president, in his address tonight, we know he likes to ad-lib, did he overstep the information that you provided to him in any way, shape, or form?
Now, why ask that question? Why ask it? The president likes to ad-lib. Did he sidestep any of the information? That's the goal. They want President Trump to say something that they can use against him. See, he said this, but the evidence didn't prove this. He mentioned that. That's why they're asking. Here's John Solomon.
Not that I've seen. I mean, I have to go back and compare everything, but no, I think the president stayed right where the intelligence community gave us this information, where it resides, and that is we had a glass chin. We knew our election machines are vulnerable. We didn't patch them. We knew 230 million Americans' voter data was stolen by Chinese spies. Now think about this. When Equifax had the 147 million person breach 10 years ago, it was one of the biggest stories, one of the biggest data breaches. And this is larger than that. A foreign enemy has the ability now to register American voters, and that is something that concerned the Intelligence Committee. Thousands of pages of reports that we went through. We put several hundred of them out tonight. But if all of us are worried about when our bank account gets compromised, we should be just as worried when our voter file gets compromised, because it may affect a future election.
He's 100% right, but they don't care. That's the whole reason why they ignored it. Roland, I don't know if you know this, but there are people who are standing outside, and I don't know if they're my guest or your guest, but they are standing outside. If you could look into that, because I know they're standing here like I'm some sort of, animal at the zoo. I don't know what the deal is. It might be Hot 93.7's people. All I know is there's a guy in a suit who's standing there with some young lady. But anyway, I have no idea who they're with, but I know it's not my guest. The guy doesn't look like my people. Anyway, so the president, again, gives this speech. Several news outlets refuse to cover it because the president lies. The president lies. There's no election interference. No election was changed or altered. There was no interference. And I was looking at that going, word? Really? None ever? Not even at the ballot box? Like not even the voting systems? At all? And they told us every day, no, Reese, absolutely not. Dominion won a lawsuit against Fox News. It was a settlement, but whatever, right? They settled. There was no truth to it. And then I was like, wait a minute. I've got a pretty good recall. I'm almost certain that Democrats said that not only our elections were rigged, but that our voting boxes, our voting places and electronic devices that did our tabulations, that those things were rigged too. Weren't they?
Virginia just stopped using touchscreen computer voting because it's so vulnerable.
Right.
We need to look at all the voting machines. Every Secretary of State needs to be, assisted in making sure that they are not being hacked and attacked.
I continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that ballot recording machines and other voting systems are susceptible to tampering.
Even hackers with limited prior knowledge, tools, and resources are able to breach voting machines in a matter of minutes.
In 2018, electronic voting machines in Georgia and Texas deleted votes for certain candidates or switched votes from one candidate to another.
The biggest seller of voting machines is doing something that violates Cybersecurity 101, directing that you install remote access software, which would make a machine like that, a magnet for fraudsters and hackers.
These voting machines can be hacked quite easily.
You could easily hack into them. It makes it seem like all these states are doing different things, but in fact, 3 companies are controlling this.
It is the individual voting machines that pose some of the greatest risks.
There are a lot of states that are dealing with antiquated machines, right, which are vulnerable to being hacked.
Workers were able to easily hack into an electronic voting machine. It was possible to switch votes.
43% of American voters use voting machines that researchers have found have serious security flaws, including backdoors.
We know how vulnerable now our systems were. I know the hackathon that took place last year, where virtually every machine was broken into fairly quickly.
I actually held a demonstration for my colleagues here at the Capitol, where we brought in folks who, before our eyes, hacked election machines.
Is that Kamala Harris? Yes, it is. That's Kamala Harris, former vice president, former 2024 candidate, talking about going and bringing people down to actually watch how the how the voting machines were switching votes. Right there, she gave a demonstration on it.
Those that are being used in many states.
Aging systems also frequently rely on unsupported software like Windows XP in 2000, which may not receive regular security patches and are thus more vulnerable to the latest methods of cyber attack.
In a close presidential election, they just need to hack one swing state, or maybe 1 or 2, or maybe just a few counties in one swing state.
Well, that's Ted Lieu. Ted Lieu said they only need to hack one swing state in order to change an election? Goodness, how small of a scale would that be? What would the swing state be? Pennsylvania? Huh? Michigan? Which one? Huh? That's weird, huh? It's funny he would say that. Amy Klobuchar, she's up next.
Very concerned that you could have a hack that finally went through. You have 21 states that were hacked into. They didn't find out about it for a year. Right now, we have over a dozen states that either don't have any backup paper ballots or only have them partially. Do you think that our adversaries don't know what those states are? Of course they know what those states are.
And if you're watching online, you'll see that red arrow pointing to someone we all know who has been a guest on this program. That's right. Just over the left shoulder of Amy Klobuchar is our very own Richard Blumenthal, who was there at the Capitol for a briefing about what? Yes, election integrity, cheating, hacking into systems. So I want to make this abundantly clear. Folks, especially here in Connecticut, I got to tell you, all of you, every single one of you, you have no wins in this conversation. Shut up. Say nothing. That video I just played you is about 2 minutes, 31 seconds. Do you want to know how long that video was that I cut it from? 21 minutes of Democrats, many of them from this state, making the argument that our voting systems are hacked and vulnerable. The same thing that Donald Trump said last night. Don't give me this bubkiss about, oh, it wasn't rigged during Trump's wins, but it was rigged during the ones he lost. He never said that. He said that our systems are vulnerable, as did you. So we're all in agreement. There's no argument here. You made the argument when you lost. It was a big deal. It happened in 2000. It happened in 2016. You believed that, and back then, you guys couldn't trust a hanging Chad. So spare me. You got no wins here, and I don't want to hear anything from any of you. I don't care how liberal you are. Oh, Donald Trump said this and Donald Trump said that. Well, if it's about who said what, again, I got 21 minutes I just posted on X. You can read it yourself. You can listen to it yourself. And it's nothing but prominent Democrats saying the same thing, that these election machines are hackable. You agree with them now, and you didn't think that a video was there. You're acting like it's not important. You absolutely have nothing to go on. Nothing. But I have one question to Connecticut Democrats, all of you. The China breach that was talked about last night by the president. China actively getting the voter rolls of several states that included Connecticut. Why would China, a country that was trying to oust the current president, Donald J. Trump, need to hack into a state that is overwhelmingly blue? It seems like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Superfluous? It's a guaranteed blue state. Now, we're talking about the Chinese here. Please, let's not treat them like they're a bunch of bungling idiots. They picked New York and Connecticut and Baltimore, Maryland. Well, Maryland overall, but why? These places are overwhelmingly blue. They didn't need to secure Joe Biden's win in those states, right? Especially in Connecticut, where they keep telling us that it's solid blue and it's a super blue majority. It seems silly, right? I'm just wondering. Or does it more so lean to the idea that I and Linda Sinkowitz and John Flynn have said here in Connecticut that something is rotten in Denmark? All the people who were called conspiracy theorists? Again, China, a sophisticated country, okay? All right, we're talking about a country that's well advanced. We're talking about their cyber hackers. They can get into anything, which it looks like they pretty much did. 230 million folks? Oh, baby. That's a data breach I couldn't even imagine. I still can't imagine it. And they went into places like, and it's, let me go one step further. They went so far, folks. You want to talk about crazy? Let's go one step further. They were doing things like creating division among racial demographics. They were pushing the white man is racist narrative. Wow. I mean, it was like China was an arm of the Southern Poverty Law Center. They were literally stoking division in the United States. And why was it so easy for them to do? Because half of these bozos in the media were complicit in that narrative. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. What else did we learn yesterday about what China was doing? And this is the deep dive, folks. This is the stuff I want to know more about. And there are people online that are screaming, release the names. China was paying the media to stoke this division. China was telling and paying sympathizers of China, treasonous, I might add, working with them, taking money from them to undermine the president and these United States, working for a foreign actor to overthrow the presidency. Wow. And the media really hated Donald Trump. And I just saw a report the other day that it was it 6 days into the presidency, an article was written that said 3 ways to get rid of Donald Trump. And inside the report, they list a 4th way. But the reason why they don't put it on the headline is because the 4th way is absolute treason. The article suggests that there should be a military coup. The person who wrote the article was a FBI official under the Obama administration. How odd. Donald Trump was such a threat that there were members of the American public, the American media, and people in government who were willing to side with a geopolitical enemy. It makes that story about people joining the Church of Satan pale in comparison, doesn't it? This seems like it cannot be real, but I want to tell you, all you TDS folks out there, I really do believe this from the bottom of my heart, that you are so out of sorts at this point. I think we should be very cautious of all of you. Because to know that you are willing to betray your country because you don't like the results of an election, I think we need to be very cautious and very, very suspicious of you. Damn. The world just changes every day now, don't it? Don't talk no crap around here, Democrats. Don't talk no crap around here. You got nothing to stand on. We got you on tape. We're going to keep exposing it. You can damn well bet that. Let's get to the top of the hour with John Silva. We'll be back. Stand by.
Pull up slow, black SUV, clipboard crew, DHSID. Lady in leggings, filming my plate, screaming, this is my block at the gate. Chill. You in the lane, phone to your face, arguing laws, you just Googled today. We got a warrant and work to get done. You got a latte and yoga at 1. Ma'am, step back, 3 times said it. You quote a blog like the state senate, blocking the driveway, stroller red shield, whole revolution in the Whole Foods field. You beat the hood like a snare drum, wow. Think of the children. Why live on your dial? We tryna move, you tryna trend. Man, pick a lane, this where it ends. If you're attacking my car, I gotta hit and run. Leave me with permanent scars, I got hit and run. You try and push me too far, I gotta hit and run. No, I don't care who you are, I gotta hit and run. Short haircut, big minivan. I pay your salary. Then there she stands. Lean on the bumper, blocking the path, cursing us out while she's filming a rap. Ice is illegal. That's not a thing. Mascara smearing, patriotic ring. Friends in the comments cheering you on. But we got cuffs and a job to be done. You hit the hood with your protest sign. We hit the gas, stay inside the line. You fake a limp, then hop and sprint when the tire rolls close to your tiny dent. Help! I've been crushed on the asphalt clean. Laying more drama than a daytime scene. We log reports, we're gone by noon. You're still arguing with a park platoon. Still, if you're attacking my car, I gotta hit and run. Leave me with permanent scar, I gotta hit and run. You try and push me too far, I gotta hit and run. No, I don't care who you are, I gotta hit and run. Step to the side, ma'am, step to the side. Laws in the folder, not in your life. Traffic backed up, folks losing time. You chasing clout, we clocked on the dime. Step to the curb, ma'am, step to the curb. You in the street yelling all of those words. Bang on the glass, you're forcing my hand. Hit and run rhythm when the wheels expand. Yeah. If you're attacking my car, I gotta hit and run. Leave me with permanent scars, I gotta hit and run. You try and push me too far, I gotta hit and run. No, I don't care who you are, I gotta hit and run. If you're attacking my car, I gotta hit and run. Leave me with permanent scars, I gotta hit and run. You try and push me too far, I gotta hit and run. No, I don't care who you are, I gotta hit and run. We heard the word that the suits won't come. Governor stayed home, but the beat goes on. Packed up the car, hit the road, headlights on the dawn. If they won't stand for the people, then the people carry on. Lines of flags on the avenue, stars stitched in the night. Every step we're taking now, walking closer to the light. From a small town station to the nation's open door, where the echo of the voices that they tried to ignore. From CT to DC to celebrate 250, we showed up for the dream, 'cause the dream runs in we. On the air in the square, where the whole world can see. From CT to DC to celebrate 250. 995, Reese on the radio, live from the highway lines. Got the callers on the phone, different towns, same mind. We tired of being slept on, left on the side. So we turned up the volume and we all gon' ride. We got flags in the window, plates on the back, mix of red, white, blue, plus the nutmeg swag. From the small town diners to the city blocks packed. Every voice that they ignored now be leading the pack. They had a chair at the table with our name on the card, but they left it sitting empty, that's a shame on the yard. So we drove down ourselves, yeah, we breaking that mold, 'cause the story of Connecticut still gotta be told. Talk truth on the mic, that's the job I choose. If the leaders stay silent, then the people break through. On the air, on the streets, from the booth to the hill, we gon' show them who we are with an ironclad will. To DC, to celebrate 250, we showed up for the dream, 'cause the dream runs in we. On the air in the square, where the whole world can see. From CT to DC, to celebrate 250. Turn it up. Let the signal fly. Let the anthem paint the sky. Every voice is a spark in the
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio right here live on WTIC News Talk 1080. I just got word that because we had to push the hour back, Michael Grosso will not be here on the program. He's got a meeting with Ryan Fazio. I think it's in Bristol. I think that's happening today. Was it yesterday that they did the pitch at the baseball game? My schedules are all over the place, but I know he's meeting with him today, so he can't really make it. That's okay. We'll make time for him, maybe sometime next week or whatever the case may be. So we'll do that. Samantha is sending me a text message about our interview next week, saying that there is no law that enforces Connecticut to punish schools for teaching a bill that they passed in 2015. That's really neither here nor there. That's not the problem. And that's our angle in all of this, is that we're going to get people to actually start enforcing laws here. Right? You sign a law unanimously, you brag about it, and then you don't do anything to enforce it, cannot stand. Especially when it involves protecting children. And here's the thing that you need to understand about this before we get into it, and it'll be next week, and I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but here's the deal. Private schools were exempt from this law. However, what happened to homeschool? Aren't homeschooled kids private school? Aren't they? And they had no problem with making sure that before you decided to put your child in what would be considered private school, homeschooling, that you had to go through this litany of, I guess, background checks with DCF to make sure you had no child abuse cases against you before you are allowed to homeschool your child. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into this. Stand by. We'll get to it on Tuesday. Anyway. So a couple of weeks ago, I was broadcasting at our sister station, WBEN, in Buffalo. And I love going out there. I fill in for my good friend, David Bellavia, Medal of Honor winner, a recipient. And he does a morning show, 9 to 1. And I usually fill in for him, and I come in here and do this show. So a lot of the national stuff I do over there, I will, of course, do here. And it was relevant because we were talking about, as everyone was in the nation, about socialism. And, you know, sometimes you have to kind of go in places that are uncomfortable when you have to express or expose a reality. And I had to go towards race. Because there are some things that run right into the ideological conversation, especially when it comes to the left. And because the left has an ability to want to support everything, because they don't want to leave anyone out, this all or nothing approach to acceptance runs against itself at times. So while you, as a Democrat, in 2012 were mocking Mitt Romney for his binders of women comments, or in 2012 when there were claims that there was a all-out attack on women by Republicans, it would be ridiculous to not notice when Democrats fought with every part of their being to ensure that biological males could go into women's spaces and women's sports, after lecturing us for years about not attacking women. Again, when you're a Democrat, every so-called marginalized group can join your... You can't... Remember, you're marginalized. You can't join a Republican Party because they don't see anybody as marginalized. They see everyone as a person who has an opportunity to take their situation and benefit from it, right? If they apply themselves, if they work hard, they will make something of themselves. There's no victimhood over here. However, on the Democrat Party, they go, victimhood? Hey, we're seated over here. Come join us at the table. And then when the transgenders come in and they're having a conversation with the leadership, they go, listen, we want, sweetie, yeah, we want to be able to change in the women's locker room because, girl, we see ourselves as women, okay? And the women's movement on the side is sitting up there going, I'm sorry, sweetheart, do you have a problem with me coming over there and being a part? I mean, I feel like a woman. You don't want to ostracize me in any way. And the women turn around and go, oh, geez. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm a good liberal. I believe in caring. Sure, sweetheart, you can come on over here. Of course you can use our locker. Oh, look at that. You're still male down there. Yes, is there a problem, Is there a problem, sweetheart? Yes, I'm woman all in here, But this thing down here, this appendage, this does not make me a woman. I mean, a man. This makes me, I'm a woman. Don't you see that? I know what I do see. Yes, but pretend that doesn't happen. That's not there, okay? Do you understand that? Are you trying to marginalize me? Oh, no, I would never, ever do that. That's what we got. So we have another case. And it all has to do with a thing we have been railing against forever. Reparations, DEI, and generational wealth. You see, these things have been the tenets or become the tenets of being a Democrat or leftist or a liberal. You see, black folks in this country have been marginalized for far too long. And they have always been behind the social economic 8-ball because white folks have stolen all the wealth. And what we need to do is redistribute that to the blacks via reparations or DEI initiatives, making sure that they get into Ivy League colleges, make sure that they are part of the medical field, or making sure they're lawyers, whatever it is. Hey, they got to be astronauts because you know what? They've got a long way to go and they have got to come up. They have got to make the same amount of money as the rest of us. And in order to do that, we have to make them entrepreneurs. We have to open up opportunities to them. Yeah, just like the marijuana, the cannabis businesses they were doing right here in Connecticut. Right? We need to give them business licenses so they can finally achieve the socioeconomic goals that the rest of you white folks have had for eons because they're too far behind. Many of you applauded it. That's right. Don't you want black people to have the same wealth that you do? How come we don't have any black millionaires? We should have more. Well, that's what you used to say. But not anymore. Not anymore.
Democratic Socialists saying that the problem now is black Democrats, that they too often hold up the establishment, they too often support capitalism. Now, black Democrats, you're the enemy of socialism.
Yes, I have seen that, and the belief that these people uphold an imperialist system. And I think John Lewis would turn in his grave to hear people within the Democratic Party speak that way. It's incredibly insulting, I think, to black voters to believe that just because they aren't voting the way that you choose, you want them to vote, that they are low information or they don't have all the facts. I think a lot of people see exactly what's in front of them, and they're not buying it.
I think the direct quote was "you are," and I think in this case it's probably in part directed at you, Yemisi. You are defanging the white socialists. You have defanged them, and for that we congratulate you. Good job, Yemisi. All right.
Look at that. So now blacks are destroying socialism for the whites. Interesting. But what do you think is going to happen as a result of all of this? I could think of a lot of things that are going to happen. See, I believe that the true Democrat is going to come out of this. The real Democrat. And I'm talking about the Democrat you saw in those videos that were calling ICE agents the N-word because they were a traitor to their race. Yeah. Remember, these people are vicious. These people will turn on black folks, or they're going to have to moderate. How do you sell this to a black community you have been selling for the longest? You've been selling black folks this for the longest, that black folks need to get reparations. Black folks need to become economically secure, right? They need the jobs. They need the infrastructure. They need the know-how. We got to turn them into college graduates. We have to do more than that and then turn them into college graduates. We also have to put them in the marketplace. We have to make sure that they can invest money. We have to make sure that they get a home. We can make sure they get a car. We make sure they make reasonable salaries. Right? Well, in a socialist utopia, that's no. Black folks have to get rationed like everybody else. How is it not? Dude, come on. She's culturally appropriating at an expert level. White Mike is silly. You're talking about her blonde hair. The bottom line is that this runs completely against the Democrat socialist model. Now, I said this again a couple of weeks ago. Why hasn't anyone asked the socialists this question? What about blacks? What do the blacks get? How about this? Try this on for size. All the whites, meager lifestyles. All you white folks, no. You get a roof over your head. You get rationed food. You take care of your basic needs. But blacks, no. Reach for the stars. Capitalism, get on it. Be as successful as you want to be, sister girl. Our socialist ideals have nothing to do with your plight. It would be wrong, racist even. Absolutely wrong. I found this video. Do you guys remember this clip? See if I can play it for you. I found it earlier today, and I said, why haven't I not been able to find this clip? Thank goodness somebody found it. It's a little choppy because I haven't edited it yet. Let me see if I can. Let me download it first because the last time I tried to play it here, it didn't work. Let me see if I can get this to play because this is such a good video. We played it a lot. Rama's in the chat room. He'll appreciate this. He'll remember it well. Let me see. Right there. No, that's not. Interestingly, that's not playing. Why? Oh, that sucks. Hold on. I got a place for it to play. I know where it'll play. Let me see if I can put it right here. I had the piece on the, because I know that I had it here, and it's something of a
and followers clip. Is here to help gentle parent us through this election.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today. I am like shaking to just be among such incredible company. We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women to step up, listen, and get involved this election season. This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online and navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And spoiler alert, as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too.
Now, this woman is there to tell all the white women in attendance on the Zoom call that they need to use their white privilege to help out their BIPOC neighbors, Black, Indigenous people of color. And her instructions are simple, crazy and insane, but simple. She went on.
So first, don't isolate yourself. we can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on.
There it is. Take a beat. That was 6 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the white women of America were telling us. If you find yourself, God forbid, correcting them, take a beat. It's the best. Now, socialists of America are now, they're crapping on black folks because they refuse to reject capitalism. Why would they do that? They have spent the entire civil rights movement doing the absolute opposite of that. Get opportunity, take opportunity, make something of yourself. Be this, be that. You want to listen, hold on. Let me tell you what's happening in these communities of color, because this is absolutely, I mean, this has got to be the best. Where is it? I'm almost certain I have it. There we go. Roseanne sent it to me. I asked her to send it because it was absolutely astonishing that it was, this is, what the heck is his name? He is a prominent African-American figure, and I don't think he was a politician for a while, but listen to this. It's so great.
Black folk don't have the wherewithal to be a competitive people. To be a competitive people, the first thing you must do is have some wealth. You came out of slavery in 1860. You had 1/2 of 1% of the nation's wealth, the richest nation on the earth. You still have 1/2 of 1%. It is wealth power that dictates your opportunities in our society. Forget about civil rights and social integration. You try going down to the Ritz-Carlton tonight and tell them, give me $1,000 room, and I want lobster and filet mignons. And they say, how are you going to pay for it? You say, I'm going to pay for it through civil rights and social integration. And they'll probably throw you off the top floor of the building. What decides your opportunity in the society is what you own and control.
So here they are teaching black folks at this seminar. What? Wealth. How to obtain wealth. And now a bunch of upstarts from the college ranks, a bunch of ne'er-do-wells, wealthy individuals, college-educated white folks are now going to tell black folks, yeah, we're going to need you to table that whole wealth thing. We're just going to take it from everybody else, and we'll get you your scraps when we're done. Weird. But I'm just waiting for that explosion to happen. I'm waiting for it. By the way, there's a poll that says that in most of these races that are going in these primaries, African Americans completely rejecting. Like, we're talking about 20-something% of African Americans who are voting for the socialists on the ballot. Something like 71% of African Americans are voting for the moderate Democrat. But what's going to happen when socialists can't get the black vote? Or worse off, what happens if socialists actually gain control and they have to tell African Americans, again, your wealth, dreams or aspirations of wealth, they're never going to happen because that's not the society we're trying to build. It's a conversation I can't wait for. I want to start talking to people in Hartford right now. I want to go to Bridgeport. I want to show them this video. I want to ask them, hey, the socialists of America say that black folks are destroying their chances of running the country. What say you? What do you mean? What are they trying to do? Oh, they're saying that, you're trying to get wealthy in the country. That's going to destroy their socialist idea of everybody just having one income. You can't be rich. Everybody just kind of gets rationed. You get your basic needs. You get homing. You get homes. And you get money for food. It's kind of a permanent system where everybody gets the same thing. I can't wait to see one of those kids turn around and tell me, so Like, what happens, like, with Jordans? I'll just have to go, sorry, kid. Jordans will be out of business. He's a billionaire. They got to tax him. They're going to destroy Michael Jordan. So he can't make sneakers anymore for $250 that you normally pay. Because of socialism, those sneakers will now be $950, $1,000 for you to play basketball in them. I'm just telling you. I keep trying to tell people there's so many winnable arguments. But, Democrats, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just some knucklehead. But it wasn't like I didn't predict it a couple of weeks ago. I hate being right all the time. I don't. I keep asking myself, how can I be right? Right? I'm just spewing nonsense, I'm not like Luke Bronin. I didn't go to Yale. Not like John Kerry and George W. Bush. These guys went to Yale. Smartest of the smart. I'm just some knucklehead from Hollis, Queens. What I know. I don't know what these boys know. And here we are. I can't believe it. Socialist, angry at the blacks. I don't know about the blacks. If I were you, I'd find them. Those are fighting words. Hold on, let me play that again.
Democratic Socialists saying that the problem now is black Democrats, that they too often hold up the establishment. They too often support capitalism. Now, black Democrats, you're the enemy of socialism.
Yes, I have seen that, and the belief that these people uphold an imperialist system.
Kind of weird. Yeah, and she does. Why does she have a blonde wig on? Jeez. Sister girl, just wear your hair natural. That's okay if you want to wear an afro, maybe with some tied up in 2 puffs on the side. That's natural. You don't need a blonde weave. It looks unnatural to you to have hair like that. It's like I look at it and so, ugh. It's like something out of The Fifth Element. Anyway, when we come back, I had what's this thing that I was supposed to put up here? I totally forgot what it was. My Grasso's not going to be here. So, I got to go into a couple of parts of this report as it pertains to the president last night and some of the things that he talked about, because Connecticut is kind of in the crosshairs with all of this. And I'm going to see if I can get Linda Sinkowitz on the phone to talk a little bit about what happened last night and some of the evidence that's coming out of it. So I will give her a holler and see if she'll come on. And then we'll check up on the scores in baseball with the Red Sox. Didn't they just win like 9 in a row or something? I wonder how they do it. I'll check that out during the break. So stand by. More news, more views when we return. It's Reese on the radio.
Chris scrolling doom, thumb on patrol. Every fresh post pulling on his soul. Calls go dip, there he go again. Typing all caps like he lost a friend. Did you see this clip? 10 texts in a row. He's arguing a segment from 3 nights ago. Staff in the doorway whispering, bro. Hide the remote, change the channel to a show. Sorry, Chris, we gotta take your phone. Can't have you spiral when you're all alone. Turn off the talking heads, breathe, get gone. Trump derangement syndrome. These outbursts we just can't condone. Maybe we can find you a quiet safe zone. Turn down the volume when the news gets shown. Trump derangement syndrome. Tongue in the office, pacing that floor. Practicing comebacks for a tweet from before. Every press mic ready to explode. About a man not even on a payroll. Got charts, graphs, 20-page brief. All about the commander-in-chief. Clerk in the back like for your own relief. Try some yoga, maybe touch a leaf. I'm sorry, Tari, Chris, we gotta take your phone. Give me that. Can't have you spiral when you're all alone. Turn off the talking heads, breathe, get gone. Trump derangement syndrome. Ooh, these outbursts we just can't condone. Maybe we can find you a quiet safe zone. Turn down the volume when the news Trump derangement syndrome. Group text buzzing, you good, you fine. They both send memes for the 100th time. Step away from the screen, go touch some grass. And if you see a camera, just walk past. I'm sorry, Chris, we gotta take your phone. Can't have you spiral when you're all alone. Turn off the talking heads, breathe, get gone. Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, these outbursts we just can't condone. Maybe we can find you a quiet, safe zone. Turn down the volume when the news gets shown. Trump derangement syndrome. I'm sorry, Tom, Chris, we gotta take your phone. Can't have you spiral when you're all alone. Turn off the talking heads, breathe, get gone. Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, these outbursts we just can't condone. Maybe we can find you a quiet, safe zone. Turn down the volume when the news gets shown. Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah. Hands up. If you fed up, say fed up, fed up, fed up. Tax bill thick as a phone book. Road still look like a war took. Every town got a closed up storefront, but they brag on a chart like we all good. Giving sweet talk, not solutions. Same crew, same confusion. We see yachts, we see budget cuts. You see growth, we see illusions. Grandma choose meds or the heat on. Kid rides 3 buses just to be gone. Classroom packed, teacher burnt out. Governor act like it's all fine. Move on. Every year, same speech, same promise. Checks to the top, still jobless. You said progress, we saw profit. The whole state tired of that nonsense. Vote them out. Say it loud. Connecticut, we done with them now. We showed up, got sold out. This November, time to throw him out. Vote him out. Say it loud. From the cities to the small town crowds. We showed up, got sold out. This November, time to throw him out. He talk business, we talk rent, dude. He count millions, we count cents, dude. You see green, we see concrete. Closed parks, cut trees on our street too. Cronies get deals in the back room. We get bills in the mail boom. You smile wide on the talk shows. We stuck in the same little bad news. Look at the trains, always delays. Look at the schools underpaid. We ain't just mad, we engaged. We at the polls this today. This for the nurses on double shifts. This for the parents who can't afford gifts. This for the students with 10 side gigs. This for the state that you said you live for. Vote 'em out. Say it loud. Connecticut, we done with them now. We showed up, got sold out. This November, time to throw him out. Vote 'em out. Say it loud. From the shoreline up to the clouds. We showed up, got sold out. This November, time to throw him out. Who runs the state? We do. Who set the date? We do. Who choose the fate? We do. He had his chance, we threw. Who got the voice? We do. Who make the choice? We do. Ballot is power we use. This ain't his seat, it's ours to move. Vote 'em out. Say it loud. Connecticut, we done with them now. We showed up, got sold out. This November, time to throw him out. Vote 'em out. Say it loud. Every district, every block, every crowd. We showed up, got sold out. This November, time to throw him out.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. And looks like the Bats are hot to death in Fenway. What was that score? 10-0 at the top of the eighth? Is that what that says? That really said 10-0 at the top of the eighth inning against the Tampa Bay Rays. And it was, as I said, 9 in a row. This is about to be 10 in a row. Boston Red Sox, middle of the field in the AL East. They appear to be about 10 games out of first place. Trailing, of course, the team that they're beating the hell out of right now, the Tampa Bay Rays, who sit in first place with 56 wins, 38 losses. Yankees right behind them with 54 wins, 42 losses. And the Red Sox now at 46, 48, still under 500. But with this kind of winning streak, if they can turn it all around after the All-Star break, who knows? It could be a completely different ball game. Yes, literally and figuratively, when we get to the playoffs. So good luck to them. And as I always say, folks, when I'm in town, and it's really true, when I'm in town, the local teams, nearby usually do pretty well. Nationals, I'm wearing their hat now. The only reason why I'm wearing the hat is because, if I go to the town and you win a championship, I got to wear the hat. I'm not saying I'm the good luck charm. Now, people are going to say something about this, but I remember this correctly. I hope many of you are old enough to remember actor Robert Urich. That's his name? Urich? Yeah, Robert Urich. He used to be, what was his name? Dan Tanner on Vegas. And he was also Spencer from Spencer for Hire. By the way, it was one of my favorite shows. Boy, did I love that show. I was a huge fan of that show. And there was a rumor, I guess it was, I don't want to say it was a rumor. It was something that suggested that wherever Robert Urich lived or did a show, that team did poorly in a championship game, or just didn't win. It was something about him moving someplace. Well, I would be called the anti-Robert Urich, for that matter. So, because every place I moved to, I put it this way, any place I've done radio, that team has won. So, I don't know why. It just does. When I got to Boston in 2007, Boston won. I'm just saying, it just happens. Call me crazy. I got here, when's the last time UConn won? Is that while I was here? I think so. Positive. Almost certain. Red Sox too. Who else? Let me see. I'm trying to figure out who else. Well, at least New England made it to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win. That one's not on me. Although it could have been. That one's not on me. Hold on. What am I doing here? I did something wrong, didn't I? Yep, there it is. I just did that wrong. Let me see if I can get Tom on the line. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Hey, Reese, how are you?
I'm good, sir. What do you got?
I got a comment on the election and cheating, but first I had a question for you. I don't believe this rumor, but I heard a rumor that Senator Schumer is going to retire and become the national spokesperson for the Beanie gas release company.
I did hear he had quite an episode with his bowels live at a speech at the Capitol Rotunda. And I wouldn't even watch the video because I was like, I don't know if I want to just hear the guy pass gas.
It's so funny. Reese.
It is, okay. So what was it? What did you want to ask him? What did you want to say about the voting thing, a voting speech yesterday?
Yeah. How dare Trump say, there's cheating going on? We know that there's only cheating inside the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I'll agree there.
Each other. There we know there's cheating.
Well, I will go so far as this, Tom. Let's look at this from sort of a wider lens and sort of deal with China in here. Because what was revealed to me in all of this says a lot about Trump and his presidency in the first term.
Hello?
Right? Can you hear me? Tom, can you not hear me? No, for some reason I lost him. Okay.
I'm there.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, sorry. I thought, okay. Yeah, you probably went into a dead spot. That's okay. All right, so I want you to think about this on a wider lens when it comes to Donald Trump and his leadership in the 2016 election, after the 2016 election, that first term. China, right, obviously, essentially says the thing that Joe Biden and the news media and Democrats alike told us over and over again. In essence, they were aligned with one another, that Donald Trump was an existential threat to democracy, which clearly he was, because China was taking everything. In this report, it says that China was taking all of the unrest that was happening in the United States and benefiting from it. They were exacerbating it. They were fueling it.
Yeah, that's what they always do.
Right.
I'm being facetious. I think there's cheating all the time.
Of course.
I'm not even. I don't even doubt that there's some Republican shenanigans going on. We got to get back to paper ballots, Reese.
I agree.
All this electronic stuff is a bunch of BS. And you played it. The Democrats, that's all they wanted,
They wanted the electronic stuff stopped. Of course they did. Because again, remember what was supposed to happen. And this is the root of it all. They were certain that everything that led up to the moment that Hillary Clinton declared she was running for president, all of their hopes and dreams were realized. They had Bill Clinton, and now they would have Hillary. And their place in Democrat lore, in essence, they would be deities, right? That they got a husband and wife of the Democrat Party elected. There was no way that she couldn't be elected. But after Barack Obama, of course, after she had been the sacrificial lamb in getting their other pet project across the finish line in getting Barack Hussein Obama to be the president of the United States, all of their dreams would be fulfilled with the exception of getting a gay person in, which I believe personally they got in the 2008 election, but that doesn't know not here nor there. But my bottom line is that that's what they wanted, right? That they were going to be fulfilling so much of their ideological dreams. And Donald Trump came in and he destroyed it. How do you not go after this guy after he takes everything?
That was the beginning of Trump derangement syndrome.
Yes.
Right there.
I mean, you think about it.
Blown up since then.
Tom, your dreams, can you imagine that somebody, imagine this, man. Someone had told you you are going to win the biggest lottery win ever, right? And then at the day the numbers come out, you go, oh my goodness, the numbers match, and then find out that somebody stole your ticket. And you would be devastated. You would go scorched earth. You would look everywhere. You would pull up every rock and everything because you knew it was yours. And someone stole it from you. That's what happened with the Democrat Party. When they said, after the Access Hollywood tape, do you remember what what's that guy's name, who used to be on the 5, the big heavyset guy who ran the Clinton campaign? He was on CNN and said, after the Access Hollywood tape, he said, there is a 90% chance Hillary Clinton is going to win this election.
Yeah, I like that guy. He was a grumpy old
guy. Yeah, he was a grumpy old guy on the 5, on the very early version of the 5. I loved him. He was funny.
Yeah. He was good.
Yeah, so he had a lot of problems with prostitutes, though, back in the day. God rest his soul. But he did. He was always caught up with some sort of ladies of the evening and cocaine and all this other stuff. Allegedly. But anyway, but he was one of the guys who said on CNN after he was fired from Fox, he said that Hillary Clinton had a 90% chance of being president after that. And everyone knew it. And when it was over, and you watch people like Martha Raddatz on ABC, at that panel, she's on television, an objective journalist on television, having to announce that Donald Trump has won the presidency, and she gets choked up That's like, how do you not go after the guy who put you through that?
Yeah, even the conservative never Trumpers, they couldn't believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lori. What do I tell you? Lori is research at Reese on the radio. Bob Beckel was his name. That's the guy. That's him. Thank you, Lori.
That was gonna bother me till I found
Me
his name.
too. You totally read my mind. I was going to be bothered by that too. Bob Beckel. And he was like, remember, this was a guy, talk about crazy enough, because people played this clip thereafter, right? After he said that Donald Trump was 90% chance that he was going to lose this election and Hillary was going to win it, when Bob Beckel said that, people found an old tape of him being asked about the Bill Clinton scandal with Monica Lewinsky. And you remember what Bob Beckel said then? He's in a trench coat outside of the Capitol building, and he says, and I quote, "Nobody cares what happened with Bill Clinton. It was just a private consensual sex between two consenting adults. No one cares about this stuff." And I was like, interesting. This guy says that nobody cares about this stuff when it comes to Bill Clinton doing that in the Oval Office. But what Donald Trump said in the Access Hollywood van, it's the worst thing that could have ever happened.
That's disqualifying. Yeah. So, double standards all the time. Hypocrisy. It drives me crazy. Really.
Yeah, man. I know it does. I know. Thank you, boss man. I appreciate you. You got it. Yeah, it was... And thank you, Lord. Bob Beckel. Man, that had bothered me for a long time. Couldn't remember his name. That was, again, this is laughable in so many ways how Democrats are responding to this. I don't care who you are. Luke Bronin, I heard, made a comment today. Luke, when the guy who was your successor wins an election with 4,700 votes, bro, shh. Seriously, just shh. A lot of you guys are talking outside because I know that the cameras here and the newspapers here, they all want your commentary. What else are they going to do? You guys will flock to the cameras and flock to the news reporters in a heartbeat because you know you get yourself in the paper. I know your scrapbook must look great. Fantastic. Look, this is me in the Hartford Courant, and here's an article of me in the Connecticut Mirror and the Insider. On the same day, they covered me everywhere. Yes. You guys really love your ink. I know you do. I don't know what that's about. I remember my early days in radio saying to myself, because I used to get ticked off, it's like, they didn't cover that. That was a big story. Why didn't they cover that? I just realized, I'm like, whatever. Credibility does, it means nothing. It's absolutely. I'm sorry. I hate to do it to half of you. I do. I hate to. Some of you do great journalism. I would name you, but I barely know you. Some of you. The other parts, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. When the time came, Connecticut got rid of the electromechanical voting machines almost overnight. They recorded votes in 4 mediums, Joey V says. Let me be the first to tell you this, okay? If China was looking into Connecticut, of all the states that could have been or should have been at issue, swing states in particular, why did China pay attention to this one? Like, why? It begs the question. I've been asking myself all night. I looked at it. I said it to, again, talking to Simsbury Joe. I said, did you hear this report? And he was like, what? I'm like, China was hacking into the systems of Connecticut. And I'm asking, why? Why would they be looking at us? That doesn't make any sense. They told us that it was the most secure election in history. I also said it begged the question, as did Rush Limbaugh. If it was the most secure in history, and you have to keep telling us that. Now think about that. By the way, no one is saying that anymore. Find me the person who's saying that now. Find me the person who is saying that the 2020 election was the most secure in American history. They're not. Only thing they're complaining about is that Donald Trump's talking about it. They should be backing it up by saying, no, it was the most secure. That should be the response, not being used. Weird. But the head of CISA actually came out and gave a hearing. I mean, gave a testimony at a hearing. It said exactly that. We have to quote. This was the most secure election in American history. And now the quote is all but gone. Now it's the Trump is lying. Oh, now Trump's a sore loser. Which sounds silly considering he sits in the office today. I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to find this piece here. I was scrambling because I didn't have the printer working today, and I want to thank Kevin for getting it fixed. Let me read this part. China's planned influence operation to weaken Trump. And ahead of the 2020 election, China developed plans using cyber and influence ops to sway U.S. and international public opinion against the Trump administration by exploiting perceived U.S. fissures. Excuse me. Themes include economic recession fears, encouraging, amplifying violent demonstrators, and looting, blaming Trump for COVID-19 response failures, racial tensions, alleging white people hate black people, inciting marches, heightened police and activist conflict, U.S. military tensions, political party fights, Congress-Trump conflicts, women's rights, South China Sea policy, and alleged U.S. war aspirations. They delivered this through social media, through TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, plus mainstream media through overt and hidden influencers and contributors. Separate presidential daily briefing material in June of 2020 noted Beijing escalating efforts to shape U.S.-China policy, including using derogatory black materials against the White House official to compel a more restrained approach. Lower-level Chinese officials had recommended collecting such material at least in January of 2019. The internal IC materials deliberately messaging analysts away from elections. Email chains from DNI, the NSA analyst, from November 20th to the 23rd of 2020 concerns that the president's daily brief related to reporting were worded to avoid direct election connections. Specific language, which you've heard already. NSA deliberately messaging our one pending presidential daily briefing to avoid any direct links to the election. Analysis worried this created an analytic objectivity mistake. One analyst noted they had been raised since the summer that the IC was deliberately avoiding mentioning a connection to elections for non-substantive reasons. This was happening while preparing a 45-day election threat report, an ICA draft. Some reporting on China's election influence existed, but was being softened or delayed in public-facing products. In essence, not only keeping it from the White House daily briefing, but keeping it from the president so that he would not use it to his advantage. In essence, he would counter said information. But I want to say this before we go into traffic. Listen to me. And I've still made this case, and I will continue to make this case. Even with this operation going on with China and actors inside our government as well as others, Donald Trump went in 2016 from 63 million votes to 75. While he had this going up against him. I just say, come on, I'm just giving it up. I don't know about you. I'm giving it up. He managed to actually raise his vote totals. With all of that, and again, it wasn't just the media and COVID-19. He actually garnered another, 11 million votes? Still, I say the man is a miracle worker. That's just my view. I don't know. Call me crazy. That's Someone's going to have to explain it to me. Someone's going to have to. What do you got? Traffic coming up? Let me read this in here real quick. How can we deal with China on a positive path now? If it's true, they were doing this and actually cheated and changed our election. We should be you're not off on that one, White Mike. You are not off on it. It is. I mean, this is especially the part about infiltrating influencers or reporters or contributors to news outlets, paying them to do it. I don't know, man. I'm with you. I'm with you on this. There has to be consequences, real ones. We'll see. Let's get our first check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher is here. He is at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Holler.
She see a cute little house on a hill. Baby, that one, I'm like chill. Next day it's a cottage by the sand. Scrolling on the phone with a wedding plan. Then it's puppies, just one more. Now the shoes got a whole new floor. Every wish on a tongue, I'm done. Still I'm smiling like she already won. Rose, you want everything from the keys to the car to a diamond ring. Rose, girl, I'm your biggest fan. If you point out, buy it, that's the game plan. Spoiled you up, but I like that thing. Gold card heart on a silken string. Rose, yeah, I'll do what I can. Cause I'm rich in love and you're the grand plan. Hey. Oh, yeah. She see a baby, now she got that stare. Wouldn't it be cute while she's fixing her hair? Already got names for the future crew. She's picking their outfits before they're due. It's vacation, she ain't even Googled yet. She wants a view that the sun can't forget. I'm out here counting up my overtime. She's out here counting every dream of mine. Rose, you want everything from the couch to the crib to a pink swing. Rose, girl, I'm your biggest fan. If you point out, buy it, that's the game plan. Spoiled you are, but I like that thing. Gold card heart on a silken string. Rose, yeah, I'll do what I can. Cause I'm rich in love and you're the grand plan. You say I need, I just laugh and find the receipt. Cause every wild little wish you make feels like a gift I get to take. Rose, you want everything from the moon to the yard to a nose ring. Rose, girl, I'm your biggest fan. If you point out, buy it, that's the game plan. Spoiled you are, but I like that thing. Gold card heart on a silken string. Rose, yeah, I'll do what I can. Cause I'm rich in love and you're the grand plan. Rose.
That that's not the case, and there won't be armed guards at our polling places. It's just another further attempt at creating fear, dividing the nation, and trying to intimidate people.
Oil prices on the rise again as the tensions between the U.S. and Iran ramp up.
In total,
A new estimate from Moody's Analytics finds that the typical American household has now spent $620 extra in gas, diesel, and jet fuel expenses in the nearly 5 months since the start of the Iran war. Of course, that comes on top of years of stubbornly high prices for other everyday costs like housing, utilities, and groceries. One other ripple effect here: when inflation is rising, we typically see borrowing costs go up. Mortgage rates did just hit their highest level in nearly a year.
That's correspondent Elizabeth Schulze. Ontario Premier Doug Ford with a plea to American governors.
If you have additional water bombers you aren't using, if you have any wildfire firefighters that you can spare, we'd be forever grateful.
Well, they're close to 900 fires burning across Canada. That smoke has drifted into the U.S. Smoke has cleared around here, but FIFA officials are monitoring things ahead of the World Cup final on Sunday at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey between Argentina and Spain. Catastrophic flooding in Texas has left 2 dead and led to scores of rescues. In Kerrville, Robert Shelton thought the worst as he made his escape.
There was a couple of times that this couldn't be it. You know, is this the time? Is this my time?
He narrowly escaped the raging floodwaters this week after hiding out in his house's attic with family to await rescuers. The Bristol Girls Little League softball team continues its march toward a World Series appearance. The girls getting ready to play a big game this weekend that could go a long way toward that end. They were given a send-off of sorts ahead of Sunday's game today. It's virtually in their backyard, just a few minutes away at Giamatti Sports Complex. Manager Adam Whitlock, Whitlock's daughter, is among those on the team.
I imagine the crowds will show up over here at the Giamatti Center. I want them to enjoy themselves. If they're relaxed, they enjoy the experience, good things will happen.
Audio there from WFSB. Sunday's game is slated for a 4 p.m. first pitch. Wall Street markets down all the way around today. The Dow off 404 points. NASDAQ down 361. S&P was down 76. Baseball, it's all over at Fenway. First game of Twin Bill. Red Sox defeated the Rays by the score of 10-0. The nightcap here on TIC, 6:10 is the first pitch, or 6:10 is the pregame, 7:10 is first pitch. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Herbie Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Reese is on the radio. Here we go now. He's on the radio. One time, he's on the radio. Give it to him now. He's on the radio. Yo, we never finish 'cause the party don't stop. The way we consider the politics, we on top. We flip it like sandals, except we never flop. And when we drop, you know we gon' pop. Reese is on the radio. Here we go now. Reese is on the radio. One time, come on. Reese is on the radio. Give it to him now. Reese is on the radio. Go.
For the first time in a long time, that song is appropriate because I'm now on the radio. We were online, but we are back. Reese is on the radio. And again, I apologize to Michael Grosso, who I canceled today. I pushed him back to 5 o'clock, but he had something else to do. And actually, it would have been right because he would have been here at 4 o'clock and we would have gone on the air. So I apologize for that. I really thought that game was going to go too long, and I didn't want to sort of ruin his opportunity to really get to the larger audience. So we're back. We're on the radio. That's okay. He already texted me. He said, could we do something next week? I'll reach out to him, and we will. Now that we are back, I want to tell everybody, very important, stay tuned for the next 2 hours. I'm going to give you something to feed on what I talked about at the beginning of the show. Also play some audio sound bites for you as well, and tease a Tuesday program that you do not want to miss. Now, I'm going to tell some people that they need to get ahead of this conversation that's coming up on Tuesday, okay? And this is your weekend homework. Erin's Law, E-R-I-N, Erin's Law, brought to Connecticut in 2015. It was promoted by a young woman by the name of Erin Merryn. Merryn's last name is spelled M-E-R-R-Y-N, like Mary and N. Erin Merryn came to Connecticut to get Erin's Law passed as a part of every state getting it passed. Go look it up. Folks, we already have an anti-grooming law in the state. The problem is that it has no teeth. You do not want to miss Tuesday. The people who are responsible for passing that bill, get in touch with me, because you're not going to want to after. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He is at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're westbound 84 coming into Hartford, a little slow down. East Hartford as you approach the Bothie Bridge. 84 eastbound's locked up a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays from 34 down to just after exit 33. Looks like an accident or a problem on the right shoulder there. If you are heading to westbound delays, 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 291 westbound slowing from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. If you're heading into Middletown, both sides of 9, slowing approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound into Waterbury. You're looking at delays from exit 25A up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. Again, some slow traffic getting by exit 26 in Cheshire. Heading down into Hamden, southbound Parkway delays 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, today, plenty of sunshine. The air quality much improved from last night. Now, the unfortunate part is the air quality is going to unimprove, that is, get worse once we get into tomorrow. Right now, it's down across the Interstate 81 corridor in the Mid-Atlantic. It's going to push back towards the north, and we will have unhealthy air quality with a high of 81 after starting out at 59 degrees overnight. We will also watch showers and thunderstorms, some with gusty winds and downpours west of Interstate 91 once we get into tomorrow. So we have thunderstorms tomorrow and the wildfire smoke that's going to make the air quality in the code red. A couple of evening showers and a thunderstorm tomorrow night, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low of 68. A little bit breezy Sunday morning, less humid. Clouds will give way to some sun. Some improvement with less wildfire smoke, the high temperature 81. And Monday, sunny to partly sunny with a high of 83 before the showers and thunderstorms come back on Tuesday. Right now it's 84 in Granby, 82 in Willimantic, and 82 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Make your money work harder for your future. Catch Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom tomorrow morning at 8:30 for essential retirement tips. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080. Make your money work harder for your future. Catch Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom tomorrow morning at 8:30 for essential retirement tips. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080. Escape to casual luxury at Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, the perfect island-inspired getaway in the heart of Hyannis, Massachusetts. Families will love making waves at Fins Up Water Park, while couples can slow down at the Saint Somewhere Spa, pure tropical bliss. And when the sun goes down, savor coastal flavors and ice-cold drinks at Landshark Bar and Grill. Whether you're chasing thrills or chill, your slice of paradise is waiting. Book your escape today at MargaritavilleResortCapeCod.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Okay. So, breakdown works like this. And we're going to start to get some feedback from some legislators. So, listen closely. If you're a Republican in this state and you are in elected office, if you're a candidate in this state running for the Republican Party, I am asking for you to say something about this. You know, these politicians love to jump in front of the camera and release a statement about anything and everything under the sun, stuff that has nothing to do with them. But this has everything to do with Connecticut. Erin's Law started with a survivor named Erin Marin, who was sexually abused as a child. She made it her mission to make sure that kids are taught about body safety, recognizing grooming, and knowing when to speak up. When she came to Connecticut, State Senator Kathy Austin took up the cause. In 2014, the bill passed unanimously in both the House and the Senate with zero opposition. Then Governor Daniel Malloy signed it. But Erin's Law only applies to public schools. Private schools were completely exempt, and that was from the very beginning. There are no requirements for training, nothing. And even for public schools, the law was written with no penalties, no audits, and no real enforcement. This bill was designed to teach children ages, well, in grades K through 12 about no-no zones, good touches and bad touches, how to report if someone was trying to groom you. And it was a requirement that the teachers taught this to the kids from K through 12. But there's no enforcement of this law. Turns out that the law is just a pretty little law that everybody can brag about when they sign it. But there's no mechanism to make sure it doesn't happen. So the lack of this enforcement was definitely something that should have been looked at when we dealt with the Solomon Schechter School and Samantha's child. Because again, children in the private sector and the private schools were not protected. And they definitely weren't protected from a law that wasn't being enforced in the state in the first place. What makes this harder to defend, and probably worse off, is the fact that this state legislature had the audacity to pass a homeschooling bill that went after the private of all private schools, homeschools. And they put in this provision that said if you wish to homeschool your child, you had to go through a DCF background check to find out if you had been accused or charged with child abuse, which I would imagine would include anything sexual in nature. yet there is no enforcement in private schools of Aaron's Law, which again is a law that says that the schools must teach the children from K through 12 about improper touching and grooming. This is really, really weird, folks, because Samantha, this mom, is running around the state trying to get more and more legislators to come out and protect her children and others to pass an anti-grooming bill. And here we are finding out, thanks to a very brave whistleblower in the public schools who came forward and said, Reese, I got to tell you this. She said, Reese, I have to tell you this. We already have a no grooming law. She gave me the links and I read it. So, I don't know who's still in office, but I do know that Kathy Austin is. And we have reached out. You probably got a phone call from Adam 12, and we have not heard back. We're going to have Samantha sitting here across from me on Tuesday. That means that I'm not going to jump on this without giving people an opportunity to step up. This bill needs to be reintroduced. It needs to be extended to the private sector, especially if you're going to hold a bill up that will scrutinize parents who wish to teach their children at home to this standard, keeping them from homeschooling their children, yet private schools, and hell, public schools are not even following this law. I don't understand how this happened. We didn't know anything about it, of course, because it happened, I guess, before our time, before we got here, far after I left Connecticut. But when we brought this up, no one knew about it. It was almost like no one knew. Not one person came up forward and said, hey, Reese, we already have this in there. Because no one, I don't know if they didn't know or they didn't care. But Mark from West Hartford, Mark Walsh, as you know, told me just yesterday when I mentioned this to him. We had a long conversation about it. He says, I know they looked up to see if there was any law like this, and they didn't find one. Well, there is. The law exists. For those of you who will be looking for it right now, trying to figure out, well, what law? I don't know what this law is. Let me tell you what it is. It is called Public Act 14-196. Passed unanimously in June of 2014, effective implementation by mid-2015. Public schools only. Confirmed. The law explicitly requires public schools, local regional boards of education to provide age-appropriate child sexual abuse prevention education for students through K through 12, from K through 12. Private and independent schools are exempt from day one. No mandate, no training requirement, no state oversight. No real enforcement. Nobody finds this odd? Nobody finds this weird, huh? At all? Well, if you don't mind, I'll lay it out this way. It is incredibly difficult for you to enforce a law that you all passed unanimously, at the same time shouting for books like Genderqueer to be in the libraries of schools, or for teachers to have conversations about sexual orientation inside the classroom, or in those gender fluidity conversations, there is secrecy where the child is not allowed to, or the teacher or faculty member does not inform the parent of those conversations. It runs right into this law. that, again, has no teeth, hasn't been enforced. Like I said, we're not done here. We're going to go deeper. We're giving everybody an opportunity to step up. I would advise them to do so. This is a serious issue. And if you ask me, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, but if you sign this bill and you're not up now going, damn, we didn't do like nothing, like we just signed the bill and nothing came of it, like it had no weight, it was performative, your name's on it. Your name's on it. We're going to find out who it is. We're going to call them out. And we're going to ask for a comment. What are we doing to remedy this? What are we doing to ensure that the schools are teaching the law that you put in place? And you did. We're talking about a state that, you know, every time you turn around is passing a law that everybody has to adhere, right? No Glocks here, right? No homeschooling there. Here we are. We passed this bill, made a big deal, big speech. From what I understand, the deputy president pro tempore, State Senator Kathy Austin, championed this because, and I'm not, again, this is personal, but I know that she played a role in this and took it up personally because I guess it's something that she took personally. And I totally understand it, which would make me believe that the reason why she championed this bill, the reason why she was the person who pushed this, I would assume that she wanted it to have legs, right? To have teeth. Yes? So, I think something must be said. What's going on, Dave? How are you?
Hey. I just want to say, I have been, you know, I coached Little League. I did Cub Scouts with my kids. This going back 20 years, Reese.
Okay.
And you had to pass in a background check, like FBI, full background check.
Damn, FBI for the Boy Scouts?
Well, I'm not sure if it was FBI.
Well, I'm sure it was like a regular criminal background because you're going to be around children. I totally get it. Now, Boy Scouts are different because I would imagine because you're going to be in place like camping sites where you're going to be out of the sight of parents, yes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm responsible for somebody else's children.
Right.
Same thing. I coached baseball for about 10 years when my kids weren't doing it. And every year I had to pass, you know, a simple background check to make sure, you know, I'm not a criminal.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Can we put the teachers to the same test?
You know, man, don't, you know, ugh. You know why? Here, let me tell you why. Teachers are probably saying to themselves, well, why do we have to go through all that? Here's why. And I think this is a good point and a good defense of your position. We're talking about teachers who, when tenured, get a pension after they're done. There are so many safeguards to protecting teachers and their salaries and their pensions, regardless of what they do. They could, you know, criminal acts included, let's be honest, right? They are protected by their teachers' unions in ways. I think in New York City, it's got like 10 pages worth of stuff you have to go through in order to fire a teacher. I'm sure it's that way here in Connecticut as well. So with those protections that they have, we should at least have that provision in place that says you go through a background check.
I agree totally. I mean, like I said, I couldn't coach a baseball team of like 10-year-olds without going through a federal background check.
Yeah.
And, you know, I passed, and I did it for a long time, and I enjoyed it tremendously.
One of my favorite points of my life is coaching Little League soccer, man. Well, also because I won a championship, which I cannot stop mentioning. But yeah, I totally get it. It's like it's like winning at something, and the fact that you motivate these kids to, you know, to do that and to win something. It's an accomplishment. It's like wrangling cats.
My only other point, Reese, today will be like, they don't follow the rules that they make everybody else follow.
I know.
I'll leave it at that.
Well, you know what? Like I said, the only way it's going to change is if we make the change happen. So I'm using this bully pulpit, if you will, to get people to step up. They have to step up because this isn't something I just pulled out of thin air. This is actually in the law, and they're not doing anything with it.
Dude, the laws have been there for years and years and decades.
Yep.
They don't enforce them.
Yep. And then we got to make sure that they do. We got to hold them account, man. That's what's got to be done. Thank you, boss. I always appreciate you, man.
Go Ryan.
You got it. Oh, we got to take another break. I'll read some of the comments in the chat room and also take your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. And when we come back, Lamont's talking about a lot of great things that are happening in Connecticut that happened on his watch, but the stuff that he's not mentioning is worth taking note of as well. We'll get into that when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio. Mark Christopher is back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, 91 southbound delays Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B, and you're going to see some more slow traffic as you move down by exit 19 down to 18 in Meriden. Northbound 91's running a little slow between 20 Country Club Road and 21 in Cromwell, and then a good ride into Hartford. If you're westbound 84, you're slowing approaching the Bulkley Bridge at 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound's tight approaching 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley. 291 westbound South Windsor slowing 2 up to the area of the Bissell Bridge in that construction. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragodi Bridge in Middletown. 84 eastbound Waterbury tight by 18. 84 westbound slowing 23 up to the Mixmaster. Heading toward the West Rock Tunnel. Northbound Parkway delays 46 into the tunnel. Southbound Parkway slowing, getting by exit 51 down to 50 in Hamden. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
After a bit of reprieve from the air quality today, tonight some clouds will roll in with a low temperature of 59. It will be considerably cloudy tomorrow. The wildfire smoke will come back, so we will have unhealthy air quality, poor visibility at times. Also, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Thunderstorms west of I-91 could produce gusty winds and downpours, the high temperature 81. A couple of evening thunderstorms, otherwise mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a low of 68. Now, it'll be breezy on Sunday, some improvement in the air quality, less humid, the best day of the weekend with a high of 81. Now, on Monday, partly sunny with a high of 83, and then showers and a thunderstorm late Tuesday, the high temperature 80. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC News Talk 1080 is celebrating America's 250th birthday all month long. So we're asking, what does being American mean to you?
What it means to be American for me is building communities.
This American moment is sponsored by Cussin Automotive. And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 4:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We have partly sunny skies out there. Temperature of 83 right now in Hartford. Connecticut is helping out in the wildfire fight in Canada. The State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is dispatching a forestry division team of 6 members to assist in suppression efforts. The team left today from Marlborough. It's the second Connecticut interstate fire crew to head north, that one consisting of 19 from Connecticut and 1 from Rhode Island. Members of the state's all-Democrat congressional delegation are weighing in on President Trump's election security speech last night. First District Congressman John Larson, himself in a tough primary fight to keep his seat, says Trump is still relitigating his loss from 2020 6 years later.
Narcissistic nihilist who's out there trying to constantly rewrite history. His ego can't withstand the fact that he was defeated in an election by Joe Biden, and every objective source has borne that out.
After months of criticism, acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche met Thursday with several survivors of deceased convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's crimes at the Justice Department.
The meeting did not go well, according to Annie Farmer, survivor of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's abuse, who testified at her criminal trial. Farmer said Blanche was, quote, abrasive, condescending, and intentionally non-committal to survivors, and added that she's even more confident in urging senators to vote against his confirmation. The meeting came after Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, whose vote is needed to secure Blanche's confirmation as the next Attorney General, said he would require Blanche to sit down with Epstein's victims before he could vote for him. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
Bristol Little League softball team getting ready to hopefully punch a ticket to the World Series. They have to win a game Sunday in their backyard at the Giamatti Sports Complex. Girls carry a 4-0 tournament record into Sunday's tilt, which begins at 4 p.m. Down day for the markets, down week really. The Dow lost over 400 points and NASDAQ dropped over 360. The S&P was down 76. Red Sox used a 6-run, 6-inning to blast Toronto 10-0. First of a day-night doubleheader at Fenway. So, the nightcap is 7:10 first pitch. We'll have the pregame here after the news at 6:10. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, lead to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that, if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Mark Walsh working diligently on this Aaron's Law thing. I'll read that in a second from you, buddy, during the next break, and I'll call you on the phone. So Ned Lamont likes to brag about certain things happening in the state. I find most of this very odd. You know what? Hold on. Forgive me for a second. I didn't realize this, but I just saw it now. Let me go to this call real quick. Mark, what's going on, sir?
Hey there.
Hey.
I really appreciate you addressing this whole thing with teachers and students and whatnot. I was affiliated with 4-H years ago.
Okay.
And 4-H is connected with the University of Connecticut, which is the state of Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And as advisors and leaders, specifically advisors, and leaders, we were required to do a youth protection course, and we were not able to get our certification until we went through that course. It's an online course.
Okay.
And you had to pass that course. Not only that, but you did have to go through a background check, just like that gentleman that talked about being a coach.
Yeah.
Very extensive, and there's certain things that the do's and the don'ts that you are taught through that course of what to do and what not to do with youth. And I was a direct, because I had direct custodial
powers,
overwatch of kids from the age of 9 to 19.
Oh wow!
And And it was pretty extensive. So I'm not understanding why there's not any look into that aspect of it, and why the teachers shouldn't be pushing back against this. They should be for it. I don't understand the union. I guess what your explanation was the whole tenure thing and the pension.
Well, no. Let me clarify a little bit, because you may have, radio tends to sort of get lost in the sauce when I'm going fast on the subject. What the teacher told me, the whistleblower called me and told me, was that this particular law and what it had asked the schools to do was not being implemented in the classroom. Let me run down a few things because I have it in front of me. Students will be able to recognize healthy and unhealthy relationships, including romantic relationships. Students will understand how to set personal boundaries and limits on relationships and honor the boundaries of others. Students will understand that abuse can occur in any relationship and understand the various types of manipulations and lures. Now, these things are supposed to be having children understand healthy relationships and these boundaries, and it's supposed to be taught in every grade up from K through 12. But what this whistleblower is telling me is that implementation of the law is being ignored. And if you so much as bring it up in the school as to why are we not doing it, you will get in trouble. So stand by for me real quick. I'm going to put you on hold. All right? Give me a minute. Let's get to another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. So if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, look for delays as you move down from 33 Jennings Road down to 32 A and B in Hartford. On the westbound side of 84, delays 56 Governor Street up to 48 Asylum. 84 eastbound slowing 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley. 291 westbound's tight from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound slowing 1D up to the 84 West Merge. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Waterbury delays 25A up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing by exit 18 in Waterbury. Southbound Parkway delays in Hamden 50 down into the West Rock Tunnel. Northbound Parkway, you've got delays approaching 46 in New Haven up to the West Rock, and South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Last night between 10 and 11 p.m. we were well within the red category for air quality. It has improved significantly. This afternoon we have some hazy sunshine because of high clouds, not because of wildfire smoke. Overnight, not bad. No issues with the air quality with a low of 59. That will change tomorrow as the smoke from Maryland pushes north. It's still associated with the Canadian wildfires, but it shifted south over the last 24 hours. Now it's coming back north into Connecticut, so do expect poor visibility, unhealthy air quality, as well as a couple of showers and a gusty thunderstorm, especially west of Interstate 91, the high temperature 81. A couple of evening showers tomorrow, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low of 68. A little bit breezy on Sunday, less humid, clouds giving way to some sun, and some improvement in the air quality with a high of 81. Sunny to partly sunny, the high 83 on Monday, and mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm on Tuesday, the high temperature 80. Right now, 85 in Bristol, 79 in Waterbury, and 84 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a no-frills ad, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
At a huge law firm, does your case feel lost? And at a small firm, they might not have the muscle to truly fight for you. At BPS Lawyers, we're small enough to give your case the personal attention it deserves, yet large enough with the resources and expertise to get the job done right every time. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Glastonbury, Hartford, Essex, East Hampton, New Hartford, and Simsbury. Visit bpslawyers.com or call 860-CALL-BPS. Nick Payne-Dearest is responsible for the content of this ad.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's Reese on the radio.
And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let me go back to Mark in Vernon. Thanks for holding for me, buddy.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so according to this, and I went to go look it up, so apparently this breakdown, which is very, very long, and I don't want to go through the whole thing with you, or have to, but in essence, it says that the law, when it was written, this particular law, it was written to teach children to recognize child sexual abuse and exploitation, equip them with the skills to reduce their vulnerability, personal safety boundaries, and refusal skills, encourage them to report the abuse to trusted adults. The program must be developed appropriate, often including at least 4 lessons per year, building on prior years, involved active participation, discussions, role-playing, modeling, and emphasize that abuse is never the child's fault. They are typically called the personal body safety and child protection or abuse prevention lessons. According to the teachers in this study, and I want to get to that part here, the law also requires training for teachers and staff to recognize signs, handling disclosures, and mandated reporting. Information for parents, guardians, signs of abuse, grooming behaviors, and how to talk to kids about it. So again, 4 times a year, parents and teachers involved. Now, when you said you went through these trainings, was it similar to this at all?
Absolutely, it was, and I support the law itself as you said it was. The only thing is and mandated reporting is that was the other thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is I was a mandated reporter, and the law about mandated reporters is if you don't report something, you can be prosecuted.
Correct.
And that really put the onus on me as a custodial person over youth.
Yeah.
Is that you mind your manners, you mind your P's and Q's, and you did what you were supposed to be told.
Right.
But now, I also was a para.
Okay.
For 6 years.
Okay.
And that I can confirm that curriculum was never taught.
Wow.
And never brought about. And that was my last year as a para was in 2016.
Huh.
So
what? That's just a year after the implementation of the law.
Exactly. So I'm confirming with you that it was not in the district that I was in. It was not being taught. It was not part of the curriculum. It should have been part of the curriculum. And at best, we are talking about a dereliction of duty of what the law requires. And the law itself is a good law, I think.
Mark.
But it was never implemented.
Have you ever played charades?
Oh, yeah.
I'm tapping myself on the nose. My friend, you couldn't be more accurate.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's funny.
Mark, thank you. I try, man. Thank you so much, man. I love you. Thank you so much for calling in, all right?
I appreciate your program, Reese. You and Roseanne do an awesome job. I love that little bit that you had a while back about our lovely governor telling a lie down in New Haven.
Oh, goodness. Oh, you're talking about the little bit with Harry Potter.
Yes.
Oh, you know what it reminded me of? Before I let you go, you know what it reminded me of? When Michelle Obama told that story about sitting in her father's lap during the 96 Olympics in Atlanta.
She was never there.
She was 26.
Oh, snap. Oh, that would have been cute.
I'm like, that's a little weird for you to be doing at 26. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, man, you too. Simsbury Joe, the aforementioned superstar. What's up, buddy?
Hey there. As you know, I wasn't able to listen, so I don't know. Did you bring up the 250,000 votes?
No, we didn't. I did not get into that. However, I am on this Aaron's Law thing. I'm going to take, you know what? Who's going to call? He's going to call it. Let me do this. I want you to call me because I don't have any guests today. Call me after the news break, after we do music news and the traffic break. After 5, you and I will get into it because everything I talked about was beginning and we were offline because we had the Red Sox game on. So I want to get back into the opening monologue about that because I mentioned you in that opening monologue about our discussion, and I want to play this audio soundbite from Tony Dokapol and John Solomon last night on CBS after the speech because it was based on a conversation we had last night.
All right.
Okay, so stand by. Call me back after that, and we'll have Simsbury Joe on the line then. Let me get to him because do I have time? Yeah, why not? I'll talk to him right now. White Mike is on the line. What do you got, boss?
So, man, I watched the whole thing last night, and
talk to me.
I heard a lot about allegations and investigations, right? But I didn't hear what I thought I was going to hear, which was reports of, unfolded mail-in ballots with everything circled exactly the same shade and all that stuff. I didn't hear really anything delving into what was going on in Michigan when they slapped up the postal board in Detroit. So why did he do this? I mean, why did we point the finger at China if you're not going to give me some hard proof and start?
Well, he not, Mike? Mike, you're not being well, listen, I'll put it this way. I know what your answer is going to be, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Right? So Trump cannot be the conveyor of this information. He cannot be the person who disseminates it to the public. And I made this clear earlier today. Why? Because it is going to be about what Trump said instead of the evidence. It's about breaking down. See, Trump said this, but this is what we found, blah, blah. He left it to those who now have to go through the information and making it available on whitehouse.gov. Now, with that being said, would you or are you going to download that info to read it? Yes or no?
Man, I guess I have to sit there and go through it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the whole deal, right? Because people don't want to have to read through it. They just want him to present the evidence.
But here's the question, right? So let's end game this.
Okay.
So say it's all true, right?
Okay.
Everything's true, 100%. The
Right.
2020 election at every level was stolen. At every federal level anyway. Well, that means that you've got 4 senators who are illegitimate, at least, right?
At least.
2 from Georgia and 2 from Arizona.
Right.
They're illegitimate. So, by law, realistically, if fraud vitiates everything, so that means every election was null and void. That means every law that's been passed during that time federally that was signed by these senators is null and void. So what do you do? I mean, do you have to roll back everything, and everything that was passed during the Biden years is repealed? Because that should be the end game, right?
I couldn't agree with you more, but let's dig deeper now since we're here, right?
Right.
I will go so far as to say, why didn't the Supreme Court see any of the evidence that was produced by Donald Trump, his team, Rudolph Giuliani, and all those things, and refused to see it? Why'd they do that? Give me an honest answer aside from they're in on the scam. Why do you think that they didn't? Just saying all things being legitimate with the Supreme Court, why do you think they refused to?
Well, because if the Supreme Court sees it and treats it legitimately, what's the end game there?
Boom.
The destruction of the union?
Right, exactly. And John Roberts, which again, Chief Justice, what do we know about him when it comes to consequential decisions in the Supreme Court that will change the course of history, if not human existence, as it relates to things like, let's say, race relations.
He has huevos the size of a hummingbird net. Yeah.
That's right. In the moment that he actually could have made Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act unconstitutional, he took it upon himself to save it because he did not want to be the judge who overturned the first black president's signature legislation.
So you have people at all levels of the deep state down through the media who were collaborators. And, dude, I don't know if I believe it's China. I
believe that. I'll go this far. I'll believe that they played a part. I mean, saying that China was banking off of the racial division in the United States. I mean, who didn't do that? Even Khalid Sheikh Mohammed did that.
Well, I mean, look, you know how deep I go with it. I think that the Democrat Party has been the Communist Party, and globalism was communism, and Obama was globalism, 1.0 and 2.0. Hillary was supposed to be 3. They didn't get. So the globalists have to kind of get their way.
Right.
They might have used China as a tool.
Sure.
I don't think the Chinese cooked it up on their own.
Oh, no.
This was probably those big globalist think tank Soros-type people.
Wait, don't forget, what did we find, Mike, what did we find out in this? In what Trump revealed yesterday in part of his speech, what did he say? China was paying operatives in the United States in the American news media.
Yeah, and who was paying China? Was it USAID?
Exactly. So I look at this the same way that you do, because everybody's saying, everyone's looking like, so China did all this. I'm like, no, this is a joint effort by the deep state and China. So we're both covering themselves. Why? Because again, the globalists have their own plan. China knows that Donald Trump is coming there doing his own thing, and China's going, hey, deep state, you want to help a brother out? And they're going, absolutely, because this guy's screwing everything up.
It's exactly the same reason the war in Ukraine is going on. This is the force. This is the push between the nationalists and the globalists.
Indeed.
And Russia's a nationalist country, and we're being told that's not allowed to stand.
That's right.
We're going to have to let all this crap in that's going all through Western Europe, and the Russians were the ones that stood up and said, yet. Now, they may not do it nicely, but that's the reason. So, dude, you're right. It's all global conspiracy stuff. You hate to think it. But you have noticed in closing that since USAID funding's been cut off, every election in every South and Central American country, save for Mexico, has kicked out Marxists and elected right.
Totally, yes. Everyone is no one's even made the connection because people are just like, oh, in a shocking election in Argentina. I'm just like, yeah, not that shocking, buddy.
This last Gay Pride Month was shockingly poorly attended and not very well done at all.
Indeed.
When the USAID money turned off. So, yeah, dude, it's all globalist. Trump just lit a fire. But what are they going to do? They're going to hang Joe Biden? Nah,
I mean, we're never ever going to get, listen, we're never going to get the stuff that are going to come as a result of it. However, the credibility, I believe in the credibility issue here. What we're going to notice as it goes down that road, and it's going to get worse as these things get declassified. We are just in the next, I want to say, couple of months, we're going to start to see the declassification and the dissemination of this material. And as it comes out, right as we get to the November election, because I believe there's a ticking time bomb happening, that right when we get to November, it all goes south.
Well, I hope the one good thing that comes out of it is Sonny Houston has to interview Republicans every week on the show, and they continue to make her look stupid every week.
Oh, you and I both, my friend. You and I both. Have a good one, big guy. I'll talk to you. Why, Mike, ladies and gentlemen, always an industry. He and I, we've been doing this since 2012. He and I, great conversation with him. We'll have Simsbury Joe on the opposite side of this. Again, I want you to hear this conversation that he and I had, and I want to play this one because he was actually away from the radio, so he couldn't listen. So I want to reiterate it at the top of the hour when we come back, so stand by for that. Also, I want to talk about this, the list that Governor Lamont has been touting about Connecticut under his watch. But these things that he's talking about are minuscule compared to the things that he's not talking about. And folks, Hartford, of all places, made another list. Do you remember last year when we found out that Hartford was ranked, I think it was at number 3. Let me make sure I get this right. Yeah, I think ranked number 3 in rat infestations. Yeah. Well, turns out there's another esteemed chart that we are on according to Orkin. We'll get to that as well if you haven't heard it. Also, what is it? Is that it here? Yes. Wow. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, that's that story. And I think we've got that, some other list, and we'll go over the election stuff as well when we return. So check that out. And tomorrow is, Saturday. Damn. Don't we have anything? Nothing going on. Next week, we got Samantha coming into the show. I know we have some other guests during the week, and I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. I know I'm supposed to go to a cookout on Saturday night. I'm not sure if I'm going, but I'm working on it. And I know I'm supposed to go to another thing tonight that Adam just told me about. I think it's in, do I have enough time to tell everybody where it is? I think I can. I will tell you right now, apparently it is in Waterbury. Yeah. Apparently there's something going in Mount Carmel Fest. Mark Christopher in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Do you know about that?
Mount Carmel is like a big, banquet hall.
Is it?
Yeah, it used to be anyways.
Oh, okay.
Mary Waterbury, that's a good time.
Yeah, it said there's supposed to be Mount Carmel Fest in Waterbury tonight.
Carmel Fest. You're not going to that.
I wouldn't go. It's not my thing.
You're not going to the cookout either. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, Waterbury, local Old Italian Festival features authentic cuisine, carnival rides, live music, and traditional religious processions.
That's right up my alley.
After the 12 p.m. Sunday Mass. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You're not going though.
No?
No, you're gonna work. You're not gonna have any fun. You have fun? Come on.
Come on, man. I can have fun.
I know you can, but you're gonna work. You're gonna work instead. You're gonna be studying something, and you're not gonna make it. So.
I don't like the fact that you know me this well. It's time to get through traffic. Get out of here.
I'll tell you what. If you want good Italian food, Waterbury is a great spot to go.
Yes, it is.
If you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound delays 34 down to 32 A and B. Again, slowing down by exit 28. Again, some slow traffic in Meriden, approaching 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge. East Hartford out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound is tied up. 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 291 westbound tied up in South Windsor. Exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge with the construction. 2 westbound delays 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Both sides of 9 slowing approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Waterbury slowing at the Mixmaster. Eastbound 84 is a little tight by 18 and again slowing down by the 691 interchange in Cheshire. Southbound Parkway delays 51 into the West Rock Tunnel. Northbound Parkway slowing 46 into the tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Some increasing clouds overnight with a low of 59. The air quality will be unhealthy tomorrow and poor visibility at times. So we got a break on Friday, but it comes back on Saturday. We will also have a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm, especially west of I-91. The high 81 tomorrow, down to 68 tomorrow night with a couple of evening showers and thunderstorms. It'll be breezy Sunday morning, less humid and less smoke with a high of 81. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Partly sunny skies, temperature of 84 right now in Hartford. And Connecticut is lending a hand in the wildfire fight in Canada. The State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is dispatching Forestry Division personnel, a 6-member crew, to assist in the suppression efforts. The team left today from Marlborough. It's the second Connecticut interstate fire crew to head north, this one consisting of 19 personnel from Connecticut, 1 from Rhode Island. The crews consist of both full-time deep staff and call when needed personnel. All volunteer for the assignments, while the fires that produced the smoke condition around here this week originated in Ontario and Minnesota. The deep crew will work in Quebec as part of an overall effort to combat fires across Canada. Taylor Farms is now removing all iceberg lettuce from central Mexico. The FDA says it is a potential source of that parasite that has sickened thousands across the country. Michigan is the worst, with over 700 additional cases reported. The CDC says it's okay to eat shredded lettuce sold in bags in grocery stores. Dr. Deborah Howry, the former CDC chief medical officer, says government cutbacks are having an impact.
You know, when you're down 30% of your workforce, you've got less boots on the ground, especially when we're in the middle of a measles outbreak, dealing with Ebola and screening passengers at airports, and the recent hantavirus outbreak. So this just really, tips the capacity over.
2 people are dead in that catastrophic flooding in Texas, and now Governor Greg Abbott has declared a major disaster in several counties. The flooding has inundated Texas Hill Country, which had picked up over 2 feet of rain in some areas. Abbott says the cleanup has started.
I am right now going to be issuing a major disaster declaration.
However, Abbott says the rivers could continue to rise even after the rain has ended. Another major escalation of the war in Iran. The U.S. has begun to target civilian infrastructure, hitting bridges and a major railway station.
President Trump has suggested that they are still trying to talk with Iran. Some Iranian officials have indicated that the door to diplomacy does remain open. But the problem is right now, both sides don't seem willing to compromise, and they seem to believe that escalating can force the other side to move towards compromising in negotiations.
That's correspondent Patrick Revell. Democratic members of Congress are demanding answers about Homeland Security's vetting and training of immigration enforcement officers. The reaction comes after it was disclosed that an ICE officer involved in a deadly shooting this week in Maine had a history of mental health issues and violent behavior. Democratic congressional candidate Luke Bronin says President Trump's Thursday night speech on election security made it clear he'll do everything he can to interfere with the midterm elections and contest the results.
And I think it's really important that Republicans and Democrats alike recognize that when a president tries to delegitimize our elections, that's a threat to the foundations of our democracy. That's not a partisan issue. He's laying the groundwork to dispute a free and fair election.
The Secretary of Homeland Security says they have it on good authority that 250,000 people in 4 states are or have registered to vote who are not eligible. Bristol Little League softball team has a big weekend ahead. The girls are playing that is, in the East Regional Tournament with the hopes of making it to the World Series. They've got a 4-0 ledger in the state tournament thus far. They're given a send-off of sorts this morning. They'll play Sunday at the Giamatti Sports Center, which happens to be right in their backyard of Bristol. Mary Thompson's the team's 13-year-old second baseman. She tells WFSB she's learned an important lesson in addition to balls and strikes.
Mostly the teamwork, because that's going to be really important. And also just like confidence that everybody will have their moment to support to the team.
First pitch on Saturday at 4 p.m. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 406 points today. The NASDAQ dropped 361 and the S&P was down 76. Baseball on TIC this afternoon. Red Sox beat up on Tampa Bay 10-0. That's the first of 2. Nightcap here on the radio, 6:10, the pregame after the news. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, Certified Financial Planner from Money Wisdom. There are over 500 ways you can take Social Security. It's a little complicated, so how confident are you that you'll get the most out of your benefits? Explore your filing options by texting Security to 800-705-1232 to get your free Social Security Simplified Guide. That's Security to 800-705-1232.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Escape to casual luxury at Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, the perfect island-inspired getaway in the heart of Hyannis, Massachusetts. Families will love making waves at Fins Up Water Park, while couples can slow down at the Saint Somewhere Spa. Pure tropical bliss. And when the sun goes down, savor coastal flavors and ice-cold drinks at Landshark Bar and Grill. Whether you're chasing thrills or chill, your slice of paradise is waiting. Book your escape today at MargaritavilleResortCapeCod.com.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Gracious, my bad. I have all this stuff in my way and I screwed everything up. Hey, it's time. News. News. And in music news, a person by the name of Kali Yukis, I guess that's his name, some gender-bending R&B Latin singer known for the hits, I don't know, Tilapia? Yeah, I guess that's it. Turns 32. Jeremiah, I guess, I think I know who he is. He's an R&B singer and a rapper. He has a song called Don't Tell Him. He turns 39. I don't know these kids. Luke Bryan, country superstar, and I guess I've heard of him before. Yeah, he turns 50. Regina Bell, an R&B singer way back in my youth, who had that song with Peebo Bryson. She turns 63. Geezer Butler of Black Sabbath turns 77. On this day in music, jazz legend Billie Holiday in 1959 died in a New York hospital at age 44 for complications of cirrhosis of the liver. In 67, jazz saxophonist composer John Coltrane died at the age of 40 from liver cancer. Wow. 1968, Beatles' animated Yellow Submarine premiered in London. 1975, Bob Marley and the Wailers recorded live shows in London's Lyceum Theatre. And in 1982, Human League's Don't You Want Me, Baby, well, it's Don't You Want Me, spent its third week at #1 on the Hot Billboard 100s. You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar when I met you. That's right. And that is your music news. Let's get to another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Human League, still play him at the jams now, my friend?
Not so much anymore.
They had at least 2 to 3 songs I thought were great. Of course, Don't You Want Me, Baby.
Fascination.
Fascination is an annoying earworm, but still a hot record. I still love that. What's the third? I'm trying to remember the third one now.
Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. Human.
That's right. I'm only human. That's right. That's the track right there.
Yeah. Couple of people away from each other.
Yeah.
Stepping up the reservation.
They were a great group.
Yeah.
You know, they were far groovier than Spandau Ballet.
I like Spandau Ballet.
Yeah, but they had the same look.
That ballad was True was a great song.
This is a great record.
This is a great record to talk up to if you're a top 40 disc jockey.
Do you know who they reminded me of? They remind me of the soulful sounds of a group called Information Society.
Yeah.
Remember them?
I Want to Know.
Yeah. I Want to Know. I love them. I Want to Know What You're Thinking was one of my favorite records, by the way. When I met you. By the way, I'll tell you this. Speaking of weddings that you do, Mark.
Yeah.
I DJ'd a wedding, and the bride was somebody I had hired at U-Haul. And they asked me to give a speech. Me to give a speech, and I gave the speech telling her how I met her. And I said, you were working at a cookie factory inside a mall when I met you.
Don't you want me? Well, she doesn't.
She married the other guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Information Society.
Yeah, time for traffic. WTIC News Talk 1080. Here's the song. Still hit those posts, brother. Come on. Still hit those posts. Good stuff. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, down by exit 28. Westbound 84 slows 56 Governor Street to 47. Eastbound 84 tied up 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 westbound slowing exit 2 up to the Bissell. 2 westbound slowing as you merge at 84 West and East Hartford. 91 South Meriden slowing exit 20 Country Club Road down to 17. And the Wilbercross Parkway, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing 17 to 18. Again by the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 is tied up 23 in Waterbury to the Mixmaster. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
These occasional high cirrus clouds moving through. Right now we are in the clear, but a couple more will move through a little bit later this afternoon. Overnight, a couple of clouds, the low temperature 59, and right now the air quality is good, but by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to be unhealthy again. We had the smoke that shifted to the south, Pennsylvania and Maryland. Now it's shifting back towards the north. So unhealthy air quality tomorrow. Keep that in mind. Should start as early as 6, 7 a.m. and continue through the day. But Then it will improve a little bit later when we get a breezy wind, but also we have to watch out for those showers and thunderstorms producing some gusty winds, especially west of Interstate 91. The high 81 tomorrow, down to 68 tomorrow night, 81 on Sunday. The difference is less humid, less smoke in the sky, a beautiful end to the weekend, considering. And then Monday, sunny to partly sunny, the high 83 with a couple of showers then on Tuesday. Right now, 84 in Cheshire, 81 in Coventry, and 84 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Make your money work harder for your future. Catch Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom tomorrow morning at 8:30 for essential retirement tips. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun.
And outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
By the way, we're back, and stay tuned. Roughly at about the 5:35 hour, right before we come back from when we come back from the bottom of the hour news. I want to share with you some news that you may have heard on X that I posted. It's going to blow your mind. I was just looking at the comments by Alex Q and Timmy, and I will give you some insight into something that I learned yesterday during the show that I failed to tell you for good reason. But you're going to be very, very stunned by this information. So stand by for that. Let's get to my good friend Simsbury Joe on the line, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How
So
are you?
I'm great. So last night, after this speech, Simsbury immediately texted me and he said, as White Mike just did, I wanted him to say more. Why didn't he say this? I was hoping he'd have a teleprompter, like a screenshot showing boxes and emails, and he was going to give a whole PowerPoint dissertation of what happened in the election, and it didn't happen. And I said to Joe, I said, there's a reason why. And I said, because every person who wasn't playing what he had to say, who was fearful that he might do just that, didn't want it on their airwaves for their audience to hear. They wanted to be the filter, so they didn't. However, most people who were going to see this were probably going to jump on everything that Donald Trump claimed. And everything he claimed, if it wasn't in the documents produced, that would be their out. It would be to say, see, he said this, but look what we found. The evidence suggests something other. This is the reason why we can't trust the president. He lies and blah, blah, blah. But to bring that point home, Tony Dokapol was talking to John Solomon from Just the News. And I know that, Joe, you know him. Both of us follow his stuff because he is deeply embedded in the White House. He is a part of this mission to get this evidence out to the public and to disseminate it. Tony Dokapol, in his interview with John Solomon of Just the News, asked him this question.
In his address tonight, we know he likes to ad-lib. Did he overstep the information that you provided to him in any way, shape, or form?
Did you hear that?
I did.
Now you see what I mean?
Yep.
The objective was, how do we get Donald Trump? And again, Donald Trump is going to say something. He's going to exaggerate. He'll say this and he'll say that. And then we can say, see, he wasn't honest. And here's Solomon's response. I'll give you a little bit of it.
Not that I've seen. I mean, I have to go back and compare everything. But no, I think the president stayed right where the intelligence community gave us his information, where it resides. And that is, we had a glass chin. We knew our election machines are vulnerable. We didn't patch them.
So he says we had a glass chin. We should have protected our infrastructure, and we did not. What say you?
Well, I'm still disappointed today, even with what you said. It makes total sense.
Right.
Part of my disappointment was I figured that Mark Wayne Mullins and Kash Patel and other people, would be speaking out about this, but apparently they're going to speak out individually because Mark Wayne Mullins spoke today.
Right.
And one of the things that was mentioned was, and I think this is huge, and I think this is one of those questions where I can't help but throw it back in the face of the people on the left, and that is what Mark Wayne Mullins said, and I believe Trump said it as well, was that just in 4 states, they have specifically, not estimated, specifically identified 250,000 illegal immigrants registered to vote.
Yep.
So if we extrapolate that out across 50 states, and our state refuses to cooperate with that,
right?
So we know we're hiding something here, then you're close to 3 million illegal immigrants eligible to vote that have the documentation, they're in the system, etc. And for the life of me, I cannot comprehend how someone who's an American, I don't care if they hate Donald Trump, thinks it's okay for someone who is illegal to wipe out their vote. To me, it's so mind-boggling, I can't even make any sense of it other than saying detrimental things about the people that think that, oh, that's no big deal, that's just fine.
But are
It's
you
not
willing?
just fine.
I get where you're coming from, but you have to really look at who you're asking this question to. Because if it allows them to win, they don't care that an illegal is voting. If you think about it, if it's going to keep the person they want elected, they're willing to forego, right? We're talking about, look, and I know there's some the integrity of some of these individuals exist. Unfortunately, there are far too many where there is none. And what I mean by that is, are there people who are willing to ignore the cheating or excuse the cheating by saying everybody does it, and as long as they win, they don't care? Because I'll go one step further for you, because this is my favorite part of this show, is producing the receipts. It was, and I quote, very recent that Democrats were saying this, Joe.
Virginia just stopped using touchscreen computer voting because it's so vulnerable. Right. We need to look at all the voting machines. Every Secretary of State needs to be, assisted in making sure that they are not being hacked and attacked.
That was Hillary Clinton. This is Adam Schiff.
Continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that ballot recording machines and other voting systems are susceptible to tampering.
That was the late Sheila Jackson Lee. This is Val Demings.
Even hackers with limited prior knowledge, tools, and resources are able to breach voting machines in a matter of minutes.
Yeah. So there's countless others. in a 21-minute piece that I posted on X. 21 minutes of prominent Democrats who were, again, talking about the exact same thing Donald Trump was talking about, the vulnerability of the voting machines.
Well, the other thing, and luckily just a little while ago, Catherine Herridge kind of came to my defense, and she's someone I have a massive amount of respect for. And I'm going to go back to something that I said probably 6 months ago when she was sent to Gitmo to do reporting on the new construction at Gitmo. And I've always felt, what the heck is this about? And the thing is that Catherine Herridge, and this is the other argument I'm having with people, is that, like him or not, and this is her words, the people who kept the information from Donald Trump in what's called the PDB, Presidential Daily Briefing, of security issues in the country, purposely kept this information from Donald Trump. There is no other crime for that other than the one that begins with a T.
That's right.
And it's known as treason.
That's correct.
Can I have to argue with Americans about, do we want to be in a country, let's say that it was a Democrat who was in the White House and some Republicans who didn't like him were the ones keeping that information, from him. I would use the exact word. What is wrong with you and your integrity? Or maybe you just hate this country, and that's an entirely different conversation, where you can't understand how bad that is.
Joe, can I play that? Because, again, you were talking about a woman who I find, by every stretch, unflappable. Her, Catherine Herridge, and what's the other one? Who used to be also with CBS, who now has her own thing called Out Front.
The one where they
Cheryl
they
Atkinson.
took over her laptop.
Yes,
Cheryl Atkinson.
Atkinson. When they hacked her laptop, which she filmed, by the way, the Obama White House going through her computer, and tried to plant child porn on her husband's computer. The Obama administration. Again, here's Catherine Herridge. She's on with Katie Pavlich on News Nation.
Just your reaction to the president's announcement tonight.
Well, I think it's a very significant announcement, not only what he said, but the fact that they are releasing these documents so that we can really fact check the claims we heard this evening. I've been digging into the documents already, and I found this November 2020 email, and it specifically states, it's a conversation among intelligence officials. It specifically states that they have, quote, deliberately massaged one of our pending PDBs, that's the President's Daily Brief, to avoid any direct links to the election, and that is consistent with my reporting. I understand the whistleblower complaint alleged, and I think we're now seeing it in the emails, that there was an intentional effort to suppress intelligence about China's influence operations, and this was, Katie, like a massive effort, what they call a multi-domain operation. That means trade, it means diplomacy, it means open source information, it means social media. So all the levers of power China had to influence the U.S. elections.
In your reporting, you've said that a senior intelligence official emphasized to you that in 2020, China was not held to the same standard as Russia and other adversaries, including North Korea, Iran, and proxies like Hezbollah, and that the Chinese influence operations were consistently downplayed while Russia's were routinely amplified. You also talked about this whistleblower who was...
I want to cut Katie off here because this goes right to what you were talking about, Joe. Was in essence, there were people inside the White House who knew this was going on and was downplaying it. And if anything, they were allowing it to fester inside the United States, which makes them conspirators. Yes?
100%. And I have to hold out hope that there's a heck of a lot more coming, and that this is really just that first awakening for certain people in the country who weren't really wanting to believe what may have happened. Because I really want to know the FBI agent who said she's running a shadow government within the FBI. Why is she still not doing a perp walk out of her Microsoft job?
That's exact. Wow. And I want, by the way, have you seen that email? Because I'm still looking for it.
I saw it somewhere on X.
Okay. If you know where it is, get that email to me because I need to see. I was looking for it last night, and I know it wasn't part of the document dump that they had, but I want that I want that email. Plus, we need to find out the information on how Connecticut was involved in the whole China hack. That we have to know, because everybody wants to know exactly where that was.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So as you just said, Connecticut was one of the 18 states that was involved in the China hack.
That's correct. That's correct.
I would like to know why our governor, who I'm sure was notified by people in government that this has occurred, why we were not notified as citizens, and is it because of the exact same reasons why he was able to stand there telling people, get the COVID shot, it's safe and effective, get your kids vaccinated, knowing full well 2 boys had died at Yale directly because of the shots? There is a tie-in here that we haven't figured out yet, because there is no reason why Ned Lamont or the Secretary of State should not have made a press release or a speech or whatever saying this has come to our attention.
And let's go one
step. We are doing whatever we can to have secure elections here, but some of your information has been compromised. Why was that kept from us?
Let's go one step further. With this information, if indeed the governor knew in 2020, while he was in office, that China had been hacking the voter rolls in Connecticut, and this is the now same governor who just signed a bill to allow no excuse absentee ballots, I don't need to say anymore.
Yep.
That is a question worth asking. I wonder when the next press conference is, because I feel like there's going to be a tall, 6'3", good-looking black guy there.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And I know he will ask the questions that no one in our local media will want to ask, even though they should be asking those questions today, because it is totally about Connecticut.
Yeah.
Why would you not be? I haven't seen anything yet from any of our media asking the questions specifically about the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, man. All right, I got to go. Thanks, boss. I appreciate
Thank you very much. I'll look for that, and I'll send it to you when I find it.
You got it. Let's get another check on traffic and weather. Mark Christopher is back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, bud.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading southbound 91 into Hartford, you're looking at delays from 33 Jennings Road down to 32 A and B. Another slowdown down by exit 28. And then you're back into heavy stuff again from exit 20 Country Club Road down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway in Meriden. Westbound 84 slows 56 Governor Street up to exit 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound's locked up about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound delays, 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 291 westbound slowing from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge in South Windsor in that construction. If you're heading toward Middletown, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Waterbury, sluggish from 25A in Waterbury up to exit 22. Eastbound 84 Waterbury's tight 17 to 18. If you are traveling into New Haven, southbound on the Parkway, delays from exit 51 in Hamden down into the West Rock Tunnel, and 95 southbound delays 46 in New Haven down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
After a bit of reprieve from the air quality today, tonight some clouds will roll in with a low temperature of 59. It will be considerably cloudy tomorrow. The wildfire smoke will come back, so we will have unhealthy air quality, poor visibility at times. Also, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Thunderstorms west of I-91 could produce gusty winds and downpours, the high temperature 81. A couple of evening thunderstorms, otherwise mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a low of 68. Now, it'll be breezy on Sunday, some improvement in the air quality, less humid, the best day of the weekend with a high of 81. Now on Monday, partly sunny with a high of 83, and then showers and a thunderstorm late Tuesday, the high temperature 80. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 5:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Fire in New Haven led to 7 rescues this afternoon. Blaze broke out on Donna Drive in an apartment building there. 30 people have been displaced. The Red Cross is assisting those who've been impacted. President Trump used a primetime address to question the legitimacy of U.S. elections and push for more restrictive voting laws. Connecticut Democrats are criticizing the speech, saying he's trying to relitigate the election results before they happen this year. U.S. expanding its airstrike campaign against Iran by hitting more bridges and collapsing a tower at a key Iranian port. The latest strikes early today came after the president had threatened to start striking infrastructure to pressure Tehran to ease its chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz. Strong earthquake hit southern Mexico on the Pacific coast, right near the border of Guatemala. USGA had the magnitude at 7.3. No reports of any severe damage or casualties. The tremor began mildly but intensified, prompting evacuations. Bristol Little League softball team with a big weekend ahead of it. The girls are playing in the East Regional Tournament with hopes of making it to the World Series. They take a 4-0 ledger into the state tournament into play on Sunday at the Giamatti Sports Center. On Wall Street, the Dow finished down 406 points today. The NASDAQ gave back 361. The S&P was down 76. Red Sox took the first of two against Tampa Bay, 10-0 at Fenway. The nightcap later this evening, 6:10, the pregame here after the news. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Northeast Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and a T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
Now, we're back. And I don't know how comfortable I feel about saying this, but I'm going to have to ask, I'm going to have to enlist all of you in my decision. But before I enlist, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this. So we're doing the show yesterday, as we always do, and, having fun and having a good time. And during the breaks, at the top of the hour, I'll get a call from Adam. I'll get a call from Mark, maybe from Sam the man on the street. And they'll call me up and, give me some news. This is going on, that's going on, right? A little, inside baseball kind of stuff. And I get a text message, and I see the text message, and I go, I don't even understand this, but it sounds like Adam is saying something, which, by the way, he has the worst texting skills in the world because he's shouting into his phone, and whatever gobbledygook he's saying, it will write it phonetically. So I don't understand it. But all I know is that I hear or I read something about Luke Bronin. So I'm like, oh, all right, obviously it's about Luke Bronin. Let me call him and find out. I don't want to keep him hanging. So I call him up on the phone and I go, hey, what's up? And he says, I got a phone call from Bronin's team. Okay. About what? They want to come back. So I'm like, what? Yeah, they want to come back on the show. Apparently they were listening and they thought I was being a little, bashing them, going in on them, which I was, of course. I mean, he made, the sound bites are the sound bites. But, And so apparently they want to come back. They want another shot at it. And I thought about it. There's a part of me that kind of, and I'll admit, there's sometimes I feel a little arrogant. I was just like, yeah, I want him to come on. I was like, oh, you want another shot at the title? I was thinking about it, and I was going, okay, I guess he wants to recover. Obviously, he's read the commentary. The video's gone pretty viral, at least by Connecticut standards. It hasn't reached Lamont levels, but it's up there. And a lot of people are not saying favorable things about his comments on his constitutional duties to represent them. And I'm sure he wants to clarify. I don't know how much help that's going to do, or B, but I was thinking about it. It's like, should I bring him back? And Roseanne thought about it too. You'll bring him back because I want a shot at him too. I'm like, And then she said something before I left. She goes, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't think he should come back. And I said to her, yeah, I think that's the reason why I haven't been that enthusiastic about it. And not for the reason you think. It's not because I'm concerned or anything. Like he's finally shadow boxed and think he's coming back, like Rocky 2 or something. But I kind of feel like, why would I bother? I don't know. I'll leave it to you guys. You can call up and let me know. 860-522-WTIC. 860-522-WTIC. Happy birthday to my man, John Beckman. I missed his birthday yesterday. And I know he's probably mad at me that I forgot. But happy birthday to you, brother. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, he is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark, what do you think? Should I bring Luke Bronin back?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, right? I mean, there's a part of me that just says, sure. I'm sure he wants to redeem himself after that whole debacle with the representation thing and say he rethought it.
Yeah, bring him back.
You think I should, right? Like Bronin Part 2, right? Yeah, okay. Right. It's radio, right?
Maybe he'll, maybe he'll be a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
Came in with a little anxiety.
Yes.
Going up against you.
Very true. It's quite possible.
Right. So maybe a second time through, he'll be a little more comfortable.
Yeah. But you know what?
And that's what you're all about. You're all about making people feel comfortable.
Trying to do it. That's yeah, good point. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
Just want to have a nice conversation.
Yeah.
There you go. You might not see eye to eye on things, but you can have a good conversation.
Exactly. Become buddies afterwards.
Oh, why not? I mean, Tip O'Neill and Reagan used to
absolutely
shoot a few down.
I don't have a shuffleboard partner, to be honest. I got nobody to play bocce with.
It's kind of like Looney Tunes. You had the Coyote.
Yeah, Roadrunner.
And then you had the dog that was watching out for the sheep.
Oh, that's right.
They would beat the heck out of each other during the day, and at the end of the day, they'd punch out and say,
punch out,
"Good night,
it's
Ralph.
over."
Good night. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Good.
That's a good cartoon, too.
A great cartoon. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84, 10 up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue, 84 eastbound slowing 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound, you got delays 33 down to 32 A&B, and again down by exit 28. Slow traffic again as you move down just after exit 20 Country Club Road in Middletown down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. If you are traveling 291 westbound slowing in South Windsor, exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge of the roadwork there. 2 westbound slowing East Hartford, 1D up to the 84 West merge. Heading into Middletown right now, 9 southbound, 9 northbound, just a little slow traffic as you approach the Aragoni Bridge. Westbound 84 in Waterbury's tied up from 25A up to exit 22. And southbound on the Parkway delays 51 in Hamden into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Right now, the air quality, 39. It's in the good range. Unfortunately, the air quality is going to deteriorate overnight, and we will be back in the unhealthy for sensitive groups range, right around 130. And you'll notice that any time between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m., it will really start to get worse. So keep that in mind tonight. Increasing clouds with a low of 59. Tomorrow, the air quality will be unhealthy. Plus, we have showers and thunderstorms that will move in, and the best opportunity for severe weather along and west of Interstate 91 in the afternoon with gusty winds and downpours. After a high of 81 tomorrow, the same on Sunday, but it's going to be breezy in the morning, less humid, clouds giving way to some sun, and improving air quality with less in the way of wildfire smoke. And we start out at 68 degrees. So Sunday is a great day to get outside. Those who do have lung ailments, though, just be careful, because even though the air quality will improve, it won't be back to 100% good status. Sunny to partly sunny on Monday, the high 83, and then a couple of showers and a thunderstorm on Tuesday with a high of 80. Right now, 82 in Manchester, 84 in New Britain, and 84 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And now, a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-568-6533. 800-568-6533. 800-568-6533.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, just about to get up out of here, and I'll grab the phone calls in a second. Checking out some of the comments in the chat rooms. We've got everything from, let me see, CBS tried to silence Catherine Heritage. Yes, they did, Lori, and also Sarah Atkinson had a great book. Yes, and I do know about that book. Show is also on YouTube and on the WTIC home website. Tim says, is the video version of the show there as well? I don't think that's there. What was the other thing? Reese, what's up? Love how you grilled Lamont. You definitely need to do more of that. I'm not saying this to be rude, but you must be new. I do it a lot. Make sure you follow us on Facebook so you can see a lot of it. Let's help those lost see through this BS and the other Dems BS, and let's get them out of here. Absolutely, we're trying to do that. Again, John Beckman, happy birthday, says he's 65 but feels like he's 25. Yeah, okay, sure. I know that's not true. Anyway, Michael A., Scallywag Original, says to the question of whether or not we should have Luke Broning make his second appearance? He says no. Mark from West Hartford also says absurd, absolutely not. So you people are not very happy about that idea. Bob S., also Scallywag, just said he's chiming in a little late. Rewinded the show, by the way. Biden cheated and stole the 2020 election. He couldn't get 20 people at a rally, much less 80 million votes. Couldn't agree more. A guy who, again, think about this, and it's a great point, Bob, that you're making. In the 2008 primary, it was he, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama. Again, out of the three, the virtually unknown individual who had just become a popular figure in 2004 by giving the one of the keynote address during the convention speech for John Kerry, a guy who, again, no one had seen, had just gotten the office of senator in Illinois in 2007, took the office in 2007, 2006, and was running by the beginning of 2007. Again, and Joe Biden only got 19,000 primary votes. And we're supposed to believe that he got more votes than Barack Obama. I don't know. Anyway, that's just a good point. Anyone that believes that he won is delusional and a liar. Did anyone see the empty tractor trailers with all of the ballots flying over? No, I didn't see that myself, but I did see some other stuff as well. Just pulled the muscle laughing. 65 feels like 75. He couldn't fill a phone booth, Lori says. Yes. And with that, again, people are calling, or at least telling me in messages, no, we shouldn't give him a second shot, Luke Broden, for that matter. I don't know. You check out the video online. You tell me whether or not he deserves a second shot. Let's go to the phones. Craig in the car is on the line. What's up, boss?
Well, I'm torn.
Are you?
Because I know. Yeah, I am. Because you put him 6 feet under the first time, he's going to be 12 the next.
Right, because the interview will not be him coming to direct the conversation. I'll be doing that.
Yeah, no, he's a lightweight. He doesn't have it. However, he came onto your show the first time,
right,
unprepared,
right,
had clearly not listened to your program before.
Should have.
And let's use a boxing analogy to this.
Sure.
He didn't watch the videotape of your previous fights.
Yes.
And he got his ass slapped all around the ring. and now he wants a rematch because he's had a week to do his research.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what? Yeah, so you know what? Nah, why don't you swim in your filth? I'll give you, here's what you could do, Reese. I'll give you 10 minutes. And after 5, if he's not coherent, if he's not making a point, hey, you know what, Luke? I got to go. I got other guests.
Yeah.
Like he did to you.
Yeah, exactly. I think, see, you're bringing this to another place that I was kind of ignoring because I didn't want to be petty, but you're right. He didn't even want to stay when he got into the scrum with me. He left on such a sour note that someone in his team listening said, dude, you got to go back because it didn't look good.
You have to go fix this.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
And now he wants to fix it again. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the Rocky thing. Remember when Rocky was in the mountains and he was, pulling the logs up the snow-filled mountains and all that shit? That's what Luke's doing right now.
Yeah.
Drago! Back to you.
Yeah, he's going to get on the mountain and go, Reese on the radio!
No. You had your shot, pal, and you blew it. However, getting back to my first point.
Yeah,
maybe he needs to go 12 feet under.
I get you. I mean, maybe, come on and dig it even deeper.
Yeah. All right. Let's have some fun.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, we'll see. He also, I understand that they're saying that I am not asking for John Larson to come on the show enough, even after he came on. We've done the Larson thing enough. I'm not begging John Larson to come on here. And as far as I'm concerned, his whole campaign is a joke because the people who are running it are scared to death of John Larson. That's the problem. John Larson is such a loose cannon, and everybody knows it, that they are concerned that John Larson will be triggered by something that I say, and he'll start screaming and holler. I was telling Kevin earlier today that John Larson may come on the show and start screaming and hollering to the point where he's absolutely uncontrollable, and he may say something off color. That's all I'll say.
Well,
I said something else.
Well, Reese, I don't think you want to be the guy that puts John Larson in hospice care. And that's a real thing.
I'm just saying. I would love John Larson to come in. I really think he is an engaging individual, but he may get a tough question that he may not be able to down, and he'll be screaming, and that will make the news cycle. And his people, and you know it. I don't care what anybody says who's on his team. You know damn well the reason why you keep stopping me from talking to him is because you know he gets excited and exercised, and he's going to say something he's going to regret.
No, I'm going to tell you something. Reese. I was on a transit train at what's the airport in Washington, D.C.?
Reagan National, yeah.
And we had to get off the plane and get on a bus to get on another train, and I was standing right next to him. We were strapping it, arms up in the air to hold on. And he was talking to a couple of his advisors, and he was talking to some other people, and he said, you people would be really surprised at how much we actually agree on, but we can't say it.
Wow.
And I think that's why John Larson's in hiding, because he doesn't believe in this nonsense, this socialist garbage that's going on. But, man, he's going to get out there and he's going to scream it to the rooftops, and he doesn't believe a word of it.
Wow.
I think John Larson's a man of integrity. He's a nice guy. I've talked to him one-on-one.
I think so, too.
But he's caught up in the machine.
Yeah,
When
he's
you
being
get
held.
caught up in the machine, you can't get out.
It's ideological hostage taking. That's all it is.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
He's not a bad guy.
Yeah. I know. I feel that way about him, too, man. I do. Thank you, boss.
He reminds me a lot of Joe Lieberman.
I never got to meet him, even when I was here. But no, I get your point. Thank you, boss. I appreciate you.
Ciao.
You got it. Billy is in the house. Billy's been trying to get in forever, and I literally keep not taking his call. What's up, boss? How are you?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm great. What's up?
I'm calling to talk about Luke Bronin. The Tuesday before your interview with him, I was at a meet and greet at our senior citizen that he was at.
Okay.
And I asked him what about his definition of generational change. He'll laugh. His definition of generational change is that he's younger and more energetic.
That's it?
That's it?
Did you hear Billy when I asked him? I said, and I quote, the difference between you and John Larson on the scale that we took put them at 8.5 to 9%. Like out of a scale of 1 to 10, they were at an 8.5 to a 9, that they were no different than each other. And then I told them that he was new Coke.
Yeah. and also when one of the other questions came up, having to do with all of the services that undocumented people get, as opposed to citizens, Bronin's reply was, "Well, that's not really true," and brought up again his contention that people who are undocumented, or illegals as I call them, pay taxes.
Yeah, if he'd have said that here, I would have annihilated him. That's the reason. And I would have annihilated him and said they pay taxes. I had someone actually try to correct me on that. It was like, no. This data says that they do pay taxes. And then I challenged them, and I actually came with the evidence. And I said, are you talking about the inescapable taxes like sales tax? Like, yeah, okay, they pay the taxes because no one cannot pay a sales tax. Right? Unless you're bartering with something. Like at a pawn shop, they may not charge you a sales tax, but everywhere else you pay its sales tax. They can't avoid them. Billy, I got to go. Go ahead, real quick.
I can understand why Bronin would want to come back on your show, but I don't think it would help him any.
Nah, I think it would only dig him deeper. You're 100% right. Billy, good talking to you, man.
You too. Have a great weekend.
You too, man. Bye. All right, so I'm going to go to this Waterbury event. I'm actually kind of excited. One, because it's an Italian event. Two, because there's Italian food there. And I know there's going to be a funnel cake. And there's always room for funnel cake. I'm just telling you. Just funnel cake is kind of my thing. The only downside about funnel cake is that all of the powdered sugar that's on your face, and then having to explain to people that you don't have a drug problem. Hey, you've got white stuff on your face. Yeah. It's just powdered sugar. No matter how you say that, it still sounds like you're saying something else. You can't explain it away.
What do you put on your funnel cake?
You're always, powdered sugar. That's it.
That's it?
That's it. What do you put on it?
Oh, this
What do you put, jelly?
No.
What do you put on it? Say something gross.
Cookies and cream ice cream.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Like you can do that.
Caramel
works.
And hot fudge.
You can do that
and then powdered sugar on top.
You can do that at the festival?
Well,
I've never seen that at a festival.
I don't know. Well, you could do it at Six Flags and different things, different places like that. When you go to the Big E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody called it fried dough. It's just a funnel cake.
It's fried. It's
same thing.
It's like spaghetti fried dough type.
Oh, really? Is it thin?
No, it's like laying done spaghetti on top of each other.
Oh.
And crisscrossing it all over. That's how they do the dough.
Yeah. Cinnamon is a bit harsh on something that large. Like I can't have large.
It's a cinnamon and sugar thing, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I can't have a lot of cinnamon in one helping. It's just way too much.
So you don't like French toast?
I'll need a little bit. I always tell them. I always put a little bit of cinnamon, not a lot. I just can't have it in a large dosage. I love cinnamon.
What does it do to you?
It's too much. It's like putting okay. So there's a place that I go to that does Old Bay on French fries.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I like Old Bay, but if you put too much, it's too much.
Yeah, when I went to DC, the couple of times I went, they put too much Old Bay on everything.
Yeah, you can't. It's very temperamental. Anyway, we'll be back next week. Can't wait to get here. Enjoy your weekend. As I always say, radio is free. So we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you. We miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. Go Sox. Let's win it again. Mark Christopher's getting you home. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, sir.
Hey, good night, Reese. Have a great weekend. If you're 91 southbound, you got an accident on the right shoulder down by 33 Jennings Road. Just use caution there. A little slowdown again down by exit 28. If you're traveling down into Meriden, you're tight again, approaching 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur-Cross Parkway. On the westbound side of 84, delays 56 Governor Street into the tunnel. 84 eastbound